Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're out in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Chunichi Dragons playing the Yokohama DeNA BayStars. It is NPB baseball, and we appreciate you guys for popping in here with us tonight. It is the second game of the season, as the season opened yesterday, and the BayStars took care of the Dragons in the opener as they had won the game versus them yesterday, and it'll be game 2 of the series here in this one tonight. Yesterday, the BayStars opened up their account playing against the Dragons with a 5-0 victory, a shutout victory, as it was Azuma who had got the win in the opener. But the big one tonight is Trevor Bauer is going to be taking to the hill for the BayStars tonight against the Chunichi Dragons, and we'll have all the action here for you. But first of all, we're going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Chunichi. Leading off and in center field is number 1, Yuki Okabayashi. Batting second and playing shortstop is number 5, Kaito Murambetsu. Hitting third and in left field is number 51, Seiji Ubiyashi. And the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 25, Takuya Ishikawa. Batting fifth and right field is number 55, Seiya Hasakawa. Batting sixth at first base is number 4, Orlando Calixte. Batting in the seventh spot and playing second base is number 63, Yataro Idayama. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 35, Takuya Kinoshita. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 38, Takahiro Matsubu. And so Matsubu will be facing Trevor Bauer, who makes his return from the Mexican League with the BayStars, his second tour in the Japanese League. Now your starting lineup for the BayStars. Leading off in center field is number 1, Masayuki Kajiwara. Hitting second and playing second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Batting third and left field is number 25, Yoshi Satsugo. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 3, Tyler Austin. Batting in the fifth spot and playing third base is number 51, Toshiro Miyazaki. Hitting sixth and right field is number 61, Tetsu Ibina. Batting seventh and doing the catching is number 50, Yudai Yamamoto. Hitting eighth and playing shortstop is number 6, Kaita Mori. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 96, Trevor Bauer. And they will be facing, from the Dragons tonight, it is the pitcher Takahiro Matsubu, as he will be making his first start, obviously, of the year as well. Those are your starting lineups. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is Central League action with the Dragons and the BayStars about ready to go at it here shortly. We'll be right back in just a few. For those of you who are just joining us tonight, we appreciate you guys for jumping in with the BayStars and the Dragons. And just for everyone's knowledge, this game may be a few minutes just delayed as they are taking the tarps off the field. Trevor Bauer is getting himself loose as there has been rain in the area. And he is out in right field playing some catch with his catcher, Yudai Yamamoto. As we had mentioned earlier on, there was a full slate of games in yesterday across the NPB and another full slate of games today, as we will take a quick peek at what happened yesterday and what we expect today. Will go forward. As we said, there's going to be a little bit of a delay here. So in yesterday's affairs, the Hanshin Tigers opened up their season with a 4-0 victory over the Hiroshima Carp. It was early when they scored runs, and they added a couple more late, as it was Takayuki Sato who had hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. Over at the Tokyo Dome yesterday was probably the most exciting game of the day, as the Yakult Swallows jumped out to a 5-0 lead over the Giants, only to see the Giants storm back late and tie it and then win it in extra innings. The final there was 6-5 at the Tokyo Dome. The game between the BayStars and the Chunichi Dragons last night was a 5-0 victory for the BayStars. They had cruised to victory. Azuma, the starter, got the win for Yokohama as he cruised to victory. In the other league, in the Pacific League, it was the Fighters knocked off the Lions. We watched that one last night. 2 solo shots off the bat of the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Franmil Reyes had hit the second one. It was Kataro Kiyomiya hit the first one. Good pitching for Saitama, Cebu Lions, as they have had and exhibited this year. The problem is that their offense is not very good. I think if they played a series against the Carp, like they did in the exhibition series, they might go a week without scoring a run, and that would be both teams. The Oryx Buffaloes took care of the Tohoku Rocket and Golden Eagles last night. Some great pitching by Hiroya Miyagi. He had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning. They ended up losing the no-hitter. They had a 2-0 lead early. The Eagles battled back with a run in the 8th and a run in the 9th. And then it was Kenya Wakatsuki who walked it off in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the game for the Buffaloes. It was a 3-2 final. And then the massive blowout of the night, it was an early 1-0 lead for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. And then it was Chiba shoved 7 runs on the board, and they went on to win 8-2 over the Fukuoka Ball Club. Well, that is where we're at right now. We are just waiting for this one to get going. The tarps are, as we said, in the process of being removed from the field, as they are going to get this one ready here in just a couple moments. They have the cutouts on in place. But we do have a bit of a rain delay. Trevor Bauer is getting himself loose. And as soon as he is ready to go, we'll be ready to go with you guys as well. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It is rain in Yokohama, but we'll be back right after this. BayStar players are on the field. They're getting themselves loosened up. The Trevor Bauer is throwing, and we are going to be just a few minutes away from the start of this one here, as it has been delayed by rain. The fans are starting slowly to make their way back into the seating area, and it does look like that there is clearing skies. So we'll be getting this one going here in just a bit. It is still a little bit brisk as the players are bundled up. But Bauer, as we said, getting loose here. He'll be ready to get the show on the road here in just a little bit. We'll take a look at some of the other action as we went around the league and gave you the final scores and the updates on last night's affairs. We can do is we can tell you what's coming up tonight around the NPB. The Tokyo Dome, it is going to be the second game of the series between the Swallows and the Giants. It is going to be Yoshimura going to the hill for the Swallows. He'll take on Akahoshi of the Giants. In Hiroshima, game 2 of that series will be Hiroki Takota taking to the hill for the Carp, and it'll be Ren Tamita getting to the start here tonight for the Hanshin Tigers. Over the Pacific League at the Balluna Dome, it'll be Yataro Watanabe taking to the mound for the Lions, and he is going to face Takayuki Kato, the veteran lefty and the crafty lefty for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. And over on the other side of the ledger, Aaron Curry makes his regular season debut for the Buffaloes, as he will be facing, it'll be Koji, who is on the mound for the Eagles. And then it'll be Austin Voth, the American, taking to the hill in Fukuoka against Tomohisa Ozeki, as Voth is making his first appearance this season for the Marines. Those are the starting pitchers for tonight around the NPB. We are going to get this one going here as soon as Bauer's completed his tosses, as soon as they get the tarps off the field. We'll try to get an update on first pitch, but we'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Dragons BayStars, top of the first, in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are not that far away, as it is going to be the BayStars and the Dragons from Yokohama tonight. As we mentioned, Trevor Bauer is supposed to get the start, and he is warming up right now. He is getting loose as he's playing catch with his catcher, Yamamoto. The other BayStar players are out onto the field, and they're getting themselves loosened up. But as we had given you at the top of the stream, our lineups here tonight. Interesting players are players to note. The BayStars really have a strong lineup, and they can go 5 players deep at the top of the order with Kajiwara, Maki, Satsugo, Austin, and Miyazaki. Once you get down into the bottom part of the order, Tatsuo Ubina, who is getting the opportunity to play. There was talk whether he was even going to make the squad or not, but certainly the injury in the exhibition season had opened up a door for him. And that was the unfortunate part, as it is going to be Kaida Sano, I believe, who is going to be out for an extended period of time for the ball club in Yokohama. They are, and also Taiki Sakene is going to be missing some time. I'm a little curious to see what the situation is with Ryuki Watari, who was a rookie last year, and we kind of missed out on him a little bit. So I'm interested to see where he is going to land at some point in time for the BayStars this year as well. He did get off to a good start, but he was really a non-entity toward the back half of the season last year. But as far as the Dragons are concerned, this ball club here is limping into another 2025 season. They do have some pieces. One of the pieces is at the top of the order. Keep your eye on Yuki Okibayashi. He was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game, the center fielder. He's got some wheels and he can do some things. But when I look at the rest of the lineup, it is a bit of a mishmash in terms of things. You have Seiji Ubiashi, who has come over from the Fukuoka Ball Club, and he is hoping that he's going to be able to get himself a regular chance to play. He brings some experience as Ubiashi. He is going to be 30 years old in August. He played his entire career up till last year with the Fukuoka Ball Club. He appeared in 46 games last season for the Dragons, and he had hit himself below the Mendoza line. He batted 191. He has some times in his career where he's been pretty good, but he is a stable force, at least in terms of the way that he goes about his business. But he's one player that you'll have to keep an eye on, and he's kind of a stable pony for the younger players. The other player that they were able to acquire from the BayStars was Seiya Hosokawa, and Hosokawa has come in and played pretty well over the last 2 seasons. Up to the 2022 season, he never had more than 83 plate appearances for Yokohama. And then in 2023, after coming to the Dragons, he had hit 253 and he pounded out 24 homers. And if you thought that was by accident, he ended up pounding out 23 homers last year and batting 292. So he was even better than he was in his first season with the Dragons. So keep your eye on him. He's going to be 27 years old in August as well. So a couple of players that have been acquired through movement. Orlando Calixte, we got a chance to see him play a couple years ago. And he had spent time with the Giants and the Royals at the big league level. Most of his time was with the Royals. And then he had spent some time with the San Francisco Giants. He is quite popular amongst his teammates. But he is not a young fella. He is 33 years old. He gets the start at first base tonight. And Calixte was 1 for 4 in last night's affair. He got a chance last season. He ended up hitting 261 with 7 homers and 36 RBIs. But really, realistically, some of the players that the Dragons have at their disposal, both domestically and internationally, they're not really putting together a team that is going to compete for a title. More so trying to get themselves out of the last place finish, or the last place potential finish where they have been for the last couple of years. Well, we are still waiting as the Dragons are now out and they're getting themselves stretched out. Looks like it is spitting a little bit, but the skies are clearing in Yokohama. As we mentioned before, the Dragons are getting themselves loosened up. They've got the cones out on the field. Looks like a soccer tryout as they are going back and forth, and their pitcher Matsuba is out to throw as well. So my estimation on this is we're probably going to be another 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes away, or possibly even at the bottom of the hour. We'll take a look on our feeds to see when it is. But the pitcher now for the Dragons is going to the bullpen. Rain is causing the delay. So if you guys are going to check back, maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I would say we'll keep you entertained as best as we can. But we'll be back in just a few at our end as well. So it is Dragons and BayStars in a rain delay here. Top of the first inning, we'll be around in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. As we mentioned, it is a rain delay that is going to impact the start of this game here, as it will be Trevor Bauer taking to the hill. We'll give you the live feed and commentary. For those of you who are just joining us, we had a couple people that had stopped in earlier. Obviously, Stephanie, before we got on the feed, as well as JD Smarty says, is this show going to show the game live? No, we provide live commentary. There are avenues and areas that you can get the game and the feed, but they're all in Japanese. So a lot of people who come to the channel, that what they like to do is they like to pair our game up with what is going on elsewhere. And that way there, you can stay up to date as much as you possibly can. We are going to jump over. We're going to do a little diamond surfing as we will take a look at a couple of the other games that are going on. As we're going to take a peek at the Pacific League, as we can bounce in and see what's happening. Right now, the Fighters are off to an early 1-0 lead, as they are now in the bottom of the first inning. As we mentioned, Drew Verhagen is pitching. And so this will be me working off the top of my head a little bit here, trying to give you guys as much interest or information as possible. So actually, it's not Verhagen tonight. It is the left-hander, as Verhagen goes tomorrow night, and they're going to go in between there. So we're going to have to jump over. We're going to try to jump over to the top of the first inning between the Eagles and the Buffaloes. It looks like it's going to be going to the second inning with the Fighters up 1-0. We've got no balls and one strike right now to Kai Nakagawa at the plate, as the Buffaloes are batting in the bottom half of inning number 1 for them. As the pitch was delivered, and he lifts that one into the netting over by the temporary seating. Pretty good crowd on hand here for the Oryx Buffaloes tonight, as certainly that has been a bit of a conundrum for the Buffaloes, not getting full house, as there's a chopper hit over to short, and they fire over to first and able to get Nakagawa by half a step. The lineups we noticed with the Eagles last night, Kobakata was at second, but Murray Biashi has been moved from his shortstop position last year over to third, and they have a rookie that they are looking to lean on over at short. But I'm not sure if he's getting the start tonight or not, or if it is Murray Biashi back in his familiar position. So for the Buffaloes, as they're batting, Yuma Mune is hitting in the 2 spot. In this one here, batting from the left side, 28-year-old, still wearing that, what looks like a catcher's shin guard on his lead leg, as Yuma Mune fouled that first pitch off. As we said, we are working a little bit off of the top of the seat of our pants here, because we're waiting for the start of the Dragons and the BayStars. Breaking ball that had missed down from Koja. Kitaro Kirbiashi is on deck, and Yataro Sugimoto is in the hole, as the Buffaloes are batting in the bottom half of the first inning. And Tudo is here. He says, our walking cheat code, I can see them breaking the MLB record this year. Possibly, not really sure. We're going to be interested to see how that's going to be. As the pitch going on here to Mune is a fastball swung on, and he lifts it into the seats. As we mentioned, we're still waiting for the tarps to come off the field, but the players are warming up between the Dragons and the BayStars, so we're anticipating a bottom of the hour start with Trevor Bauer on the mound. Tudo, it's great to have you in the stream. We missed you the other night. We had bounced off of our feed as the pitch was a fastball delivered to Mune, and he'd fouled that into the netting over on the first base side. Last night, it was Hiroya Miyagi was absolutely fantastic for the Buffaloes last night. He had a no-hitter into the 7th inning. And then once he lost the no-hitter, the Eagles scored a run in the 8th and a run in the 9th to tie it. And then it was Kenya Wakatsuki walking off in the bottom of the 9th with a double. And Yuma Mune had looked at a called third strike there, and that is 2 in the books here in the first inning. Once this inning's complete, we'll bounce over and see what's going on back at with the Fighters and the Lions. A little diamond surfing here for everybody, Japanese style. I'm glad you guys could jump in here with us tonight. We're able to do this here as the shortstop Kotaro Kobayashi is at the plate. And there's a breaking ball that misses, and the count is quickly 0-1. We were talking about in our stream the other day that it looks like in the Japanese league, some of the players have changed some of their stance. He's got a really high leg kick. He's got his feet up in the air. This is something that a lot of people talk about, the HLP hitting style that some people are teaching. As he took that pitch for a ball, 1-1 here to Kobayashi. He sure doesn't get his foot down in time. There's a ball that's bounced up to the plate. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Kotaro Kobayashi. 2 gone here in the first inning as Koja kicks and delivers. And there is a fastball that swung on, and it's going to be lined over the head of the shortstop. It looks like it is Muribayashi who is in it short, as that is going to be a base hit, a 2-out hit there for Kobayashi. And that is going to bring the big fella Yataro Sugimoto up to the plate. And as we mentioned, as we're looking at this here tonight, it is actually Rui Muniyama who is the shortstop tonight. So Muniyama is the one that they've been talking about, as it looks like he is going to be bumping the aforementioned player out of being Murizaki out of the game. Our friend Brandon says, what time is the game supposed to begin? Brandon, they're in a rain delay right now, and we're just kind of filling in a little bit of time here with the Buffaloes and the Eagles. It looks like the bottom of the hour is first pitch. The players are out warming up, and the pitchers are getting loose. Bauer was on the field throwing, and the other pitcher for the Dragons had gone down to the bullpen as he was getting his tune-up tosses in. And so we would expect approximately a bottom of the hour start here at 10:30 Pacific, 1:30 a.m. Eastern, but that could be subject to change. The tarps were on the cutouts, and they'll be coming off here soon enough, as there is a breaking ball that missed down to Sugimoto. So that is what we're looking at. I'm not sure if we got a final. I have to go back and take a look. I know the Detroit Tigers, I was watching a little bit of that game with the Tigers and the Dodgers. And the Tigers had a run taken off the board. They'd scored 2 in the top of the 10th, but I just saw a flash, if that's correct, that they lost in the bottom of the 10th. And I have to go and have a look at that. Sugimoto swung and hit a line drive into right field. Oh, almost misplayed by the right fielder of the Eagles as the ball hit off the turf and almost got over his head. So Sugimoto had himself a single that advanced Kobayashi over to second. So the Buffaloes with 2 out have something going here, and it's going to bring up Ryoma Nishikawa. So very interesting. Nishikawa last night was 3 for 4 in the ball game, but he had an absolutely horrendous spring. I don't even know if he had 3 hits in the spring. At one stretch, he was hitting 0-5-0. Our Filipino friend says it looks like that the Dodgers won 8-5. So they must have put a 5 spot on the board in the inning here. So the game was just a final maybe a few minutes ago. So I'm curious to see how they walked it off or finished the game there. So Kojo, after getting the first 2 outs, is in a little bit of trouble as Nishikawa steps to the plate. The former Carp, as we said, had a absolutely terrible spring training. Takes that first pitch down and away. He is 30 years old, is Nishikawa, and he's in his second year with the Buffaloes. Last year, he was signed as an off-season domestic free agent, and of course, now Aaron Curry on the mound, 2 former teammates. Wonder if he was in the process of recruiting Curry at one point in time. So left-hander against the left-hander as Koja now delivers. Let's see, breaking ball that catches the inside corner, 1-1 to Nishikawa. Take a quick peek back to see what we have, but no other updates yet. As I say, I'm thinking of the bottom of the hour start for those of you who are listening in. But Nishikawa here, waiting on the offering from the lefty. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball. It swung on it, is lifted into shallow center field. Moving over underneath it is Tatsumi for the Golden Eagles. He makes the catch. And the Buffaloes are going to be done here in their half of the inning. They threaten, but they don't score as they leave a pair stranded. We're going to go and take a look what's going on over in the top of the second inning between the Fighters and the Lions. Just after lunchtime there, as the game with the Fighters and the Lions is 2 out right now in the second inning. It's a ball and 2 strikes. It looks like it's Daigo Kamikawakabata up to bat here. So 2 gone on the top of the inning. The Fighters have Takayuki Kato on the hill tonight. It's Verhagen goes tomorrow. We're actually probably going to look back and call that one tomorrow night between these two teams. As there was a fastball lifted foul into the seats. The count remains at 1-2 to Daigo Kamikawakabata. It's a very good crowd in Torkazawa for the game between the Lions and the Fighters here tonight. Opening weekend in the Japanese League as well, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. So Bradley asked the question, where can you watch the live video in the USA? Okay, so here's a few leads for you, Bradley. So the first thing, if you have a VPN, then you're in good shape. If you don't have a VPN, you could be in some trouble. So VPN is giving you that virtual network, and you're able to throw the cloak over you. And the VPN, you can pull in some different opportunities. Certainly Yahoo Sports in Japan carries some of the games. Amazon Prime also carries games, but Amazon Prime Japan. And then also JSports also offers some options as well. Those are the paid varieties. More than likely you're going to have to. But even if you have a North American account, as the second baseman Kamikawakabata grounds out to end the inning, you're going to have to pay for those feeds. So once you get in there, you have to pay for the feed, and then you can enjoy the game like everybody else. And the fees are varied. Sometimes you can buy an entire season. You can buy it by the month, those pieces as well. In North America, DAZN used to carry the games. I'm not sure about in the States right now if DAZN is still carrying games. DAZN had it for a couple of years, and they were able to do stuff, and then they went away. And then there was another one that a lot of people were saying with games were on delay. It was like Friends and Family, or FTF, I think it was. But a lot of the games were not live at that point. And certainly the Central League is very difficult to get feeds. Certainly the Swallows, the Tigers, and the Giants, everybody is kind of independently owned and operated. And they have their own different ways of which they can call the games. And so then if you're looking for the pirated sites, then you start running the risk of other things. And so a lot of people will go to the Live QQ. Live QQ doesn't always provide BayStars games. They don't always provide Dragons games. They don't always provide Swallows games. Sometimes they'll provide Giants games. There's a regular one there. Actually, Swallows are too. But a lot of the other teams like the Carp, hard to be able to get their feeds. Well, the Dragons have just given themselves a bunch of high fives. And as I say, we're probably about 5 or 6 minutes away. They're back in the dugout. And the staff is now onto the field trying to be able to pull up, although there is still rain in the area. Doesn't look like it's raining as hard. It's more of a drizzle than anything else, but looks like we're going to be a few minutes away from the start of this one, as the BayStars and their management team are getting themselves ready to go. But the rain looks like it is a cometh again. And the players are hiding underneath the dugouts. But they do have the lineups up. And it looks like we're going to be ready for some baseball here in just a couple moments. As we said, we're waiting on Trevor Bauer. to complete his warm-up tosses, and then we'll be ready to go. So hang tight, everybody. We're going to be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you. We'll come back and give you some more options of where you also want to look at as well for the feeds of the game. Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back. Well, the BayStars are in the dugout. So are the Dragons, but it looks like the BayStars are just a couple moments away to take the field as the tarps are coming off, and we are almost ready for some Japanese baseball tonight. We are glad that you guys could poke your heads in here. If you're new to the Last Rouse Baseball channel, we appreciate you guys for popping in. We do give the live commentary. Our friend Bradley Dunn asked the question, where in the States can you possibly get some of the feeds? And we started to answer a little bit of that earlier as well. And so on our channel, we had on our membership page, although right now we are not monetized at the moment, we got ourselves in a little bit of a hot water as we were using some clips, which you're allowed to do, but we didn't add enough value to it. Certainly some of the slow motion swings and other stuff, we have to add a little bit more value to that. And so we got a slap on the wrist. Unfortunately, some of the channels got their channels shut right down. That was during the playoffs last year in Major League Baseball, and we didn't get our channel shut down, thankfully, but we certainly got our fingers tapped because of that. As the BayStars are now making their way out onto the field, we are ready to get this one going here in just a couple moments. They are taking their positions, and we're going to be making the calls here in just a couple moments. So we have a page where you can kind of go and look at some stuff. That'll be coming back up here probably in the next couple of weeks or so as we have regained some of our hours that we had lost in the last year. And so other places that you can look at, it used to be in the United States, they actually used to carry it up until a couple of years ago on ABC in Hawaii. They used to carry the games, as we mentioned before. Not only that, with the Live QQ and the Yahoo options, the Amazon Prime, you do have to make sure that you have a VPN to be able to qualify for those. Well, the children ran out onto the field with the players. They got their autographs with them. Now they're making their way off the field, and now the official first pitch is ready to come here. And once we go through some of the pomp and circumstance, as the players are already in the field waiting to get this one going, we'll give you the full complement of this as well. So hang with us, everybody. It is going to be BayStars and Dragons. The first pitch is just around the corner. Trevor Bauer going head-to-head against Takahiro Matsubu. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. The Trevor Bauer is now taken to the mound. He's going to start his warm-up tosses. The cheerleaders and all the pyrotechnical equipment is just coming off of the field now, and he is going to start his tune-up tosses. It is a decent crowd, and as we talked about the other night when we watched Bauer pitch against the Saitama Seibu Lions, he has lost quite a bit of weight. Noticeable with him and Kona Takahashi of the Saitama Seibu Lions. Both of the pitchers have trimmed down. They say that Bauer is almost the weight of what he was when he was a rookie, as he looks like he is in fantastic shape. The 34-year-old As we watched him the other night pitch against the Saitama Cebu Lions in his final tune-up toss. Don't be discouraged, or I wouldn't be discouraged by what we witnessed. He was working on some stuff as he didn't have the best of outings. He had surrendered 4 runs over 5 innings, but he was working on a quick pitch. He's been working on some hesitation moves and different things within the scope of his delivery. But he is now just completing his tune-up tosses, and we're about ready to get this one underway. It is going to be coming to bat for the Dragons. It'll be Yuki Okabayashi to lead it off. Kaito Muramatsu bats second, and Seiji Ubiashi in the 3-hole. They'll be the first 3 hitters to face Bauer here in this one. And we are ready to get this one underway. It is approximately 2:31 local time, as the BayStars are ready to get this one rolling. And Bauer rocks himself into the motion. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Okabayashi was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. The speedy center fielder, who is 23 years old, waiting on the offering here from Bauer. And there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. Okabayashi led the entire spring training in batting average. They said it was the first time since Kosuke Fukudomi did that approximately 20 some odd years ago. As the right-hander Bauer delivers, there's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And you can put that in the books for Okabayashi. On 3 pitches, he's gone for out number 1. Bauer starts the game with his first strikeout, so 1 in the books, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kaito Muramatsu. Well, for Muramatsu, he is 0 for 3 in last night's game. There were not a lot of hits in the ball game for the Dragons, and we would expect that potentially could be in a similar spot here tonight as Bauer kicks and delivers. Squaring to bunt was Muramatsu, and he had to pull back, but he took that one for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander against the left-hander as Bauer rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's that quick pitch, and that pitch is going to miss down for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So I'm also interested to see how he's going to use this quick pitch. He didn't use it to the most effectiveness the other night against the Buffaloes. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball waved at and missed again, and the count now goes to 1-2. We saw him used against Leandro Cedeno, and he delivered a number of balls in a row. So some of it's timing. Some of it will be him just putting the tweaks to it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And so 2 batters up and 2 batters down on strikes here for the Dragons. And that's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Seiji Ubiashi. So for Ubiashi, he comes to the plate here. He got an opportunity as a pinch hitter in last night's ball game. As he comes to bat to face Bauer here, the former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk swings at the first pitch, and he lifts it down the left field line, but that's going to slice into the seats foul. And Bauer's ahead in the count at 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Ubiashi ready to step back in. And for fans of Trevor Bauer, it's great that he is getting the opportunity. It would be great to see him back in Major League Baseball. There's obviously 2 camps. There's the people who love him and the people who love to hate him. As that fastball is taken at the knees for a called strike, the count is 0-2. But I certainly believe that he should have the opportunity, because he was not found guilty in the court of law, just the court of public opinion. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul right behind home plate. And the count is 1-2. And I think about it, when you think of in different sports, people always say somebody should get a second chance. And if that is the case, then why not number 96? But that's for a lot of public debate. And the billionaires don't want to pay the millionaire to pitch for them. And there's a lot of teams who could use them. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Bauer strikes out the side in the first inning in his return to the NPB. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are through a half inning. Your score is the Dragons 0 and the BayStars coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Bradley Dunn asked the question. He says, what is the NPB record for most strikeouts in a game? And the answer to that would be 19. It most recently was done by Roki Sasaki back in April, a couple of years ago, when he threw his no-hitter. And that would have been the most recent one. But you have to go all the way back to 1995 when Koji Noda did it in a ball game as well. And the game where he struck out 19 Buffaloes in that game where he had thrown the no-hitter. So that is the last one. Roki Sasaki, the last one, and Noda, the one before, but 19 is the number. And if I think about that right, in Major League Baseball, I would have to say that, if I remember correctly, Kerry Wood had struck out 19 in a game. I'm not sure who would have been the other record holders in the MLB. I think Roger Clemens had also dealt 19, but I'm pretty sure somebody was up at around 20 or 21. Well, the lefty on the hill here, Matsubu, delivers a first pitch breaking ball to Kajiwara, and it misses down and away for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Kajiwara in last night's game was 1 for 4, no homers and an RBI, as he takes a fastball up and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. If you guys are around in the day, we try to put our predictions up each and every day, as there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moving back onto the edge of the warning track and hauling it in is Hosokawa. Oh, Kajiwara sent it for a ride, just not deep enough, as that is going to retire him for the first out of the innings. So 1 gone here. That is going to bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. When you think of a professional hitter and somebody who can swing the bat, the 26-year-old Maki is just that. Hit .294 last year in the NPB with 23 homers and 74 runs batted in. He was 1 for 4 in last night's game. And he opened up his RBI account with his first one of the year as he takes a breaking ball inside for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The lefty delivers again, and there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes even to 1-1. My first look at Matsubu. I'm curious to see how he does. There's a fastball that's ripped foul down the left field line. Oh boy, Maki had a good hack at that one. And now he goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shugo Maki. As the lefty ready to go again. Matsubu delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's now 2-2. BayStars stuck the 5 spot on the board last night against the Dragons, as they had picked up their first victory of the year. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line, and the count is going to remain at 2-2 to Maki. Shugo Maki had the opportunity to play for Japan in the Premier 12 back in the fall, as the 2-2 pitch is on the way. And there's a breaking ball that misses down, but the home plate umpire points at Maki and says he did go around. So the captain of the BayStars is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away. It's going to bring up the left fielder in Yoshi Satsugo. So our Filipino friend says, speaking of lefties, Mazzardo from the Guardians was hitting on lefties yesterday. Yeah, I saw he had a pretty good ball game. I didn't really look tightly at the Guardians and who they're playing. I kind of peek in and out of it. I'm interested to see how they're going to fare this year. I think their pitching will be pretty good. I'm not sure what their offense is going to look like. First pitch fastball to Setsugo misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Setsugo last year hit below the Mendoza line, batted a $188. As the pitch is a fastball that misses up and in, the count is now 2-0. He joined the BayStars a bit late. Spent a few years in North America, never really lived up to the expectations after leaving Yokohama, as there is a fastball swung on it, is grounded up the middle. Ranging to his left and making the play is Murambatsu, and he throws to first. And that is going to retire Setsugo on a ground out 6-3. So that is 3 in the books as the BayStars go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 1 complete. Your score is the Dragons nothing, the BayStars nothing. Come on back. Trevor Bauer has struck out the first 3 to start the game. Let's see if he can keep it going here in inning number 2. We'll be right back after this. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the second inning, a little bit behind as we've got a different setup tonight that we are actually using for our calls here. So we have a multiple screen effect. So we are moving to the top of the second inning as it is 0-0 here. Bauer had struck out the side to begin the ball game. And that is where it stands here as he has now completed his tune-up tosses and he's ready to face the Dragons here in inning number 2. It is going to be Ishikawa, Hosokawa, and Calixte to come to bat to face him here. Trevor Bauer. In the first inning, he had, by our account, only 11 pitches to retire the side. So very, very quick and easy work. Here's the first pitch to the right-handed hitting Ishikawa. There's the quick pitch taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Curious to see how many times he uses it and how much he uses it tonight. As the 0-1 pitch is ready here, he kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ishikawa gets the start at third base tonight. Hit .272 last year for the Dragons in a part-time play as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and now the count is 1-2. So each of the first 3 batters that came to bat, it was a hard breaking ball or almost a splitter in some cases. Not sure if Bauer has added a split to his repertoire. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is, but he certainly can make the ball dance. Here's the 1-2 as he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep right field. Moving over, moving back, and then toward the line and making the catch is Ibina, and that is going to retire Ishikawa for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Seiya Hosokawa. Well, it looks like the rain has moved through in Yokohama, and the skies have brightened up for this one, as the sun is trying to come out this afternoon. As the first pitch here to Hosokawa is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Our friend Gracie Lynn in the house tonight. We were wondering when you were going to make an appearance, Gracie Lynn. Great to have you pop in. As that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. She says she can't stay, but wanted to say hi and hopefully be able to catch some of the early NPB games, and we hope you can too. You're missing a good one here. Trevor Bauer struck out the side in the first inning, as he is now pitching here in inning number 2. As the 1-1 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be lifted foul down the right field line. Also, we called the Major League game last night before we did the Japanese games, so we're going to try to do some more of those. Although I have to say, I'm going to do tomorrow's game. Not sure, probably the Lions and the Fighters tomorrow night. That is what we're leaning toward. And I'll be off to see the Mariners and Oakland, and the Mariners and the Tigers on Sunday and Monday down in Seattle. There's a breaking ball swung on, is chopped over to third, fielded on the backhand by Miyazaki. He throws to first, and Hosokawa is in the books for the second out of the inning. It's a ground out 5-3. You're keeping score along with us. So 2 gone here. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Orlando Calixte. And for Calixte, well, he is 1 for 4 in last night's affair. He gets the start at first base here tonight. The former San Francisco Giant and Kansas City Royal getting the opportunity here to play it. He takes a first pitch fastball from Bauer for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Calixte waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here from Bauer, who now steps off of the backside of the rubber. As the right-hander ready to go again, and now time has been called at home plate. Gracie said she wanted to catch the Bauer start, but had a super late night last night and only 3 hours of sleep. It's close to midnight again, so thought you'd catch up. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count goes to 1-1 on Calixte. Yeah, we're going to try to call as many as we can of his. We'll keep an eye. They're talking about that Bauer had asked that he could pitch not every 6th day like in the Japanese league, but every 5th day. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Well, if he keeps pitching like he is right now, they might want to consider rolling him out every 4 days. So Bauer looking very sharp tonight here in the early going as he rocks into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away in the left-handed batter's box, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bauer pawing at the dirt a little bit. It did rain, and as we said, it was a half-hour rain delay before this one got underway. We thank everybody for your patience for being here. Top of the second inning, 2 gone here, and the 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul behind home plate. The count remains at 2-2 to Calixte. So Trevor Bauer ready to go again. As the right-hander getting his side from his catcher Yamamoto. And now he rocks himself into the windup. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball down, and it's blocked, and it squirts away over to the first base dugout. And now the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. I would have figured, Gracie Lynn, we could have put you to sleep tonight listening to us sometimes. But with Bauer on the mound here, you never know. As we said, he wasn't the sharpest in the first couple of affairs. We saw him also against the Buffaloes in the spring session, as there's a fastball that is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains full to Calixte. That was his debut, but it was his first game back at the NPB level in the exhibition play, and he was called for a balk. Something that we learned about the Japanese league is that when you're throwing from the windup, you actually can't side saddle or start in front of the rubber. As the 3-2 is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses up and in, and it's going to be ball 4 to Calixte, as he is going to be aboard with a 2-out walk, and that is going to bring up the second baseman in Yotaro Iriyama. So that's a rule in Japan that certainly we weren't aware of, or at least accustomed to, or I should say that we knew about. And that rule is pretty simple, is that if you cannot start your windup with your free foot in front of the rubber. It has to be on the rubber or it has to be behind. And so what had happened was, as Bauer was charged with a balk, the runner was at third base and he had gone into a windup, but he had started as if he was in the stretch position. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Charging hard is the center fielder who slides at Kajiwara, unable to make the catch. That ball is going to get down. It's going to be a base hit single. It's a bleeder off the bat of Iriyama. And Calixte is going to go all the way around to third. That's going to put runners at the corners here with 2 gone. And it is going to bring up the catcher in Takuya Kinoshita. So a walk and a hit here with 2 out as Bauer was cruising along. Nice play there by the center fielder to slide. He also stuck his foot out. That helped the ball stay in front of him. But Kajiwara with great effort there, but unable to make the grab. So that brings Kinoshita to the plate. He was 0 for 2 in last night's affair. He bats from the right side. The catcher Yamamoto gets up and flashes the signals to his defense. Last season, Kinoshita hit .228 in a part-time role. He gets the start here tonight. He's got a very open stance. And here comes the first offering from Bauer. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. One thing I haven't noticed tonight is the radar gun. We haven't been able to pick up the feed of that if there is one. Sometimes different parks, they give you the speed and they tell you what it is, but in this particular case, not so much. So no balls and 1 strike as Bauer holds to the set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. And this is grounded through the 6-hole into left field, and the Dragons are on the board early here. All of the damage coming with 2 out. Stopping at second is Iriyama, and an RBI single off the bat of Kinoshita has given the Dragons an early 1-0 lead. That's their first run of the season. And Orlando Calixte comes in to score, so all the damage coming from the bottom part of the order. And that is going to bring up the pitcher in Takahiro Matsubu. Well, for Matsubu, obviously this is his first game of the season. The left-handed pitcher now coming to bat here. So nice job there by Kinoshita to open up the scoring. He also bats left-handed. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 1-1. That's one thing I really do like is I still miss the Japanese, or I still miss the National League style of baseball in North America. Some people will say, well, I'd rather see the DHs hit. But taking the pitcher out of the game has taken a lot of strategy out of the game for the managers. You don't have to manage. You've got to figure out, do you leave somebody in a little longer? Do you take them out? Here comes the 0-1 pitch as Bauer holds set and he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and you're always going to get the argument, well, you know, I don't pay to come and watch Trevor Bauer hit. But in their day, Madison Bumgarner, Mike Hampton, Carlos Zambrano, a lot of great hitting pitchers. And that really can add another dimension to your lineup when you got a pitcher who can swing the bat, much like Shohei Ohtani seems to be able to do. Fastball swung on, grounded softly to short, fielded neatly by Mori, who throws to second to retire Kinoshita on a fielder's choice. It's going to go in the book 6-4. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the second inning. There was 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we now move to the bottom half of the second inning. It is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom of the second when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this. We are making our way to the bottom half of the second inning. It is a 1-0 lead for the Dragons. They have drawn first blood. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. Stick around. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Coming up to bat for the BayStars in their second inning, it'll be Tyler Austin, Toshiro Miyazaki, and Tatsuo Ibina. As the Dragons have drawn first blood on an RBI single off the bat of the catcher Takuya Kinoshita has made the early scoreline 1-0. So 1-0 is what it is. So Austin, Miyazaki, and Ibina to come to bat here. Tyler Austin in last night's affair, he was 1 for 3. He had driven himself in a run. Last night, it was him going the other way and hitting the ball over the head of the right fielder, Hosokawa, who had misplayed the read on it. He was able to cash in Shugo Maki with the RBI in that one there. So now coming to bat here, as we said, Austin to lead it off. Austin enjoyed himself a pretty good season last year. He stands in 33-year-old, 220 pounds. Batting from the right side, really gets up on the plate. And the first pitch is a slow breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. 11 pitches in the first inning for the lefty Matsubu. Austin did foul a ball off his foot last year in the Japan series, and he was out for a couple of the games. There's a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count is now 2-0. That was always the problem in Major League Baseball. He had the opportunity, and then he couldn't stay out of the tub. The injury tub or the rehab tub. As the 2-0 is on the way, he had an even slower breaking ball that this time drops in for a called strike. The count is now 2-1. So he has seen 3 different breaking balls. He's seen slow, slower, and slowest. I don't know if Matsubu's got even something slower here. As the 2-1 is on the way, there's a fastball that bounces up to the plate. The count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. This game here got a late start as there was rain in the area in Yokohama. But we wanted to bring this one here to everybody as, of course, the main attraction is Trevor Bauer. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 3-2. And I mean, why not? Get a chance to watch Bauer pitch. He's a treat. He's got himself all kinds of little things up his sleeve. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count is 3-2 to Austin. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. I didn't check tonight if there was any UFC stuff going on. Usually that's on a Saturday night. We sometimes get a different crowd that'll pop in. Sometimes we get the gamblers running through the stream. Sometimes we get people just wanting to listen to baseball. 3-2 on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. And Austin is down on strikes for the first out of the inning as he watches that one go by. So 1 in the books, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Toshiro Miyazaki. Pitch looked pretty good, although Austin looked back, and I think he was wondering if that's as high as he's going to go, but pitch looked pretty good to me, as that was belt high on the inside corner, and that brings Miyazaki to the plate. Miyazaki got off to a pretty good start last night, as he had himself a pair of hits. The first pitch from the lefty Matsubu is a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. 36 years old now. Is Miyazaki getting a little bit longer in the tooth? Hit 283 last year with 14 homers and 56 runs batted in. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a slow breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Already lots of scoring going on around the NPB. The Giants in the third inning with a 7-0 lead over the Swallows. Fighters up 2-0 now on the Lions. There is a breaking ball waved at and missed. Miyazaki in the books. He's gone for the second out of the innings, second via the strikeout. That is now 3 strikeouts in the 5 outs here. That's going to leave it up to the right fielder, Tetsuo Obina. So for Obina, he is 0 for 3. And there was talk that he probably wasn't going to make the squad out of spring training. So he's getting an extended opportunity here as some injuries had bitten the BayStars. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. No balls and 1 strike to the right fielder Obina. Hit 256 last year. So he does have some abilities here. He's getting the nod, as we said. First one up to get the nod. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, drifting over toward the foul line, and making the catch is Hosokawa, and that is going to do it. As the BayStars will go in order again here in inning number 2. Well, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top half of inning number 3. Your score is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. I'm going to introduce you to our friend Steve Rademacher as he will be joining us throughout the evening. Be sure to check him out after the game. He's got all kinds of crazy things.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. Trevor Bauer is taking to the hill here. He's going to be facing the top of the order here for the Dragons in inning number 3 as they find themselves in a 1-0 deficit. The right-hander Bauer rocks and delivers. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Okibayashi, Muramatsu, and Ubiyashi to face the right-hander here. In inning number 3, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Bauer has been pretty solid here in the early going, and then he got himself into a little bit of trouble with a walk, a knock, and another knock. As that fastball is swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side, the count is 1-2. So struck out the side in the first inning, got the first 2 outs in the second, and then he let it get away on him a little bit there. As it is 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Okabayashi. Bauer rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It is chopped foul right into the feet of Okabayashi. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. If you're new to the channel, we appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us. We are running our podcasts. Put them out 2 to 3 days a week. If you guys are around, be sure to check them out. It is the Japan Baseball Report on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. There's a ground ball hit over to first base. Fielded neatly by Austin. He's going to win the race to the bag as Okibayashi is going to be gone on a ground out to 3 for the first out. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Kaito Muramatsu. Well, for Muramatsu, he was a part of that strikeout train in the first inning. He is 0 for 1 here. He is 0 for 4 to start the young season. As the right-hander Bauer gets his sign, and he rocks himself into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. BayStars in their home whites. Dragons in their road blues. As the pitch is delivered, it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Muramatsu. One thing I did notice when he pitched against the Lions last weekend, or I should say midweek, he was working on a lot of things, but certainly the concentration, just like this, there's a fastball that misses up and away. It's now 3-0. And you can see the disgust. One thing that Bauer does exhibit is he exhibits a lot of body language on the mound. So you know when he's not happy, you know when he is pleased with himself at times. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And it is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 3-1. Joss Hughes says, is Bauer getting shelled right now? The answer to that is no. Not getting shelled yet. Or if at all. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is 3-2. So if you just joined us, he struck out the side in the first inning. Second inning, he got the first 2 outs, and then he got himself into trouble with a walk and back-to-back singles. allowing the Dragons to score the first run. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. That's going to be a walk to Muramatsu. That's going to put the first runner aboard here in the third inning, and that'll bring up left fielder Seiji Ubiashi. So runner at first, one gone here in the third inning, and Ubiashi stepping up to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight, 0 for 2 on the season. He was the third in that strikeout train back in inning number 1. As he digs himself in here, ready to face the first offering from Bauer. Ubiashi, as we said, the former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk. He came over last year to the Dragons. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on and is fouled right off the foot of Ubiashi. He is going to run around the home plate area a little bit to try to walk it off. So no balls and 1 strike. I don't know if I've said it, but Josue asks, he's got a lot of questions since he's come in here, which is great. Great to have you here. First one is, who do you think is going to win the game? Well, we put up on our community page every day, we put up our predictions. And so this one here, we have predicted that we feel it is going to be the BayStars will win this one. As we wait here, Ubiashi has been checked out by the trainers. It looks like he's going to give the thumbs up that he's all right. So he's going to stay in the ball game here after he fouled that one off his foot. The other question, he says, who's at home? When we run the score across the bottom, the home team is to the right. The visiting team is on the left. It is in the top of the third inning. So when it's the top of the inning, the visitors are up to bat. So that would be the Dragons. Home team always has last wraps. Yeah, we appreciate you for driving home with us and listening in. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Ubiashi as the right-hander holds to the set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2 on Seiji Ubiashi. This might be a situation where maybe they may want to put the runner in motion. We'll be looking for that old strike him out, throw him out. We'll see if the Dragons will be on the move. They didn't steal any bases in last night's game, but you've got to have some runners on base to be able to do it. They just didn't have enough in the last night's ball game. But tonight they've been able to manufacture a run late in the batting order or lower in the batting order. There's a fastball swung on. Oh boy, Ubiashi fouled the pitch off of his foot just a couple moments ago. The trainers came out to have a look at him, as did the manager. And guess what? He's fouled it right off himself again. That's twice now in the same at bat as he gingerly makes his way around home plate again. So no balls and 2 strikes. It remains here to the left-handed hitting left fielder of the Dragons. Kind of have to feel a bit, I don't want to say I feel sorry for anybody, or especially professional players, maybe more for the fans of the Dragons, but they have not been very good over the last few years. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball taken for a called third strike, and Ubiashi stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched that one go by for out number 2. That is the 4th strikeout tonight recorded by Bauer, and that's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Takeya Ishikawa. Our friend Josue says, odds are on Dragons. There's no way the Dragons win this game. I don't think so either. Not with the lineup that they're rolling out there. I mean, I don't know what the live numbers are like. The only thing that might be in the way here is where will Bauer be with his pitch counts? There's a first pitch breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Against the Lions the other midweek last week, I think he was in the 90s when he came out of the game. And you're not going to have to fight Trevor Bauer going 110 pitches or 120 pitches. I bet you he will be in that particular realm here tonight. There's another breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. My guess is probably a leash of 110 pitches. Maybe 115 max, but that's what I'm guessing here tonight. Bauer is already at 50 here in inning number 3. Bradley says, can I help you? No, just looking. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Yeah, more than likely, that's one of his lines. And there's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul over down the right field line, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Josie says, any notable players for the Dragons? Notable as in former Major League players. Orlando Calixte is the only one in the lineup tonight that I would actually talk about a bit. He was with the Giants and with the Kansas City organizations, but he didn't really have what I would call a memorable time in MLB. In the MLB, he got there, which was good. You have to be able to get there. Staying there is the next hardest part. But I would say probably the best player for the Dragons is their leadoff hitter, Yuki Okabayashi, the center fielder. He led the spring training and batting average this year. He's been pretty productive over the last couple of years. He's 23. He can run. He can hit a little bit. Seiya Hosokawa had a good year last year. He finished 5th in home runs in the Central League. As here comes the 0-2 pitch to Ishikawa. Breaking ball down. There goes the runner. The throw is into center field, as that is going to be a stolen base here for Muramatsu. So a stolen base here, and that will run the count now to 1-2 on Ishikawa. And our Filipino friend says that the Giants have wrecked the Swallows. It's already a 10-0 lead. Wow, that's pretty impressive. We peeked in earlier, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, we saw it was 7-0 at one point. So the Giants got a wake-up call after being down 5-0 last night to the Swallows, and it's just been all Giants since. Well, looks like we're probably going to win that one in our picks. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander Bauer checks the runner at second. And now he does a inside spaghetti move to chase the runner Muramatsu back to the bag. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Ishikawa. 2 gone in the third. Runner at second. As the Dragons have an early 1-0 lead. Game was delayed a half hour by rain. But now the skies are clearing up. I was in a thunderstorm in Yokohama a couple years ago. I saw the BayStars take on the Carp. Got there at 3 p.m, and I was like, is this thing even going to take place? It was absolutely raining sideways. Got closer to game time, and it perked up, and they were able to play. And there's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ishikawa. Tomorrow night, we'll be back on the airwaves again, but we're going back to the Pacific League, and it's going to be the Fighters and the Lions. So hopefully you guys can join us for that one. Drew Verhagen will take to the hill against Kona Takahashi. As the 2-2 is on the way, there is a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Ishikawa's in the books. That's the 5th strikeout here recorded tonight by Bauer. As they had no runs in the inning, there were no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the third, it is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Our friend Josie says, when's the next stream? Next stream will be tomorrow night. And I believe it's either going to be 9 o'clock Pacific or 10 o'clock Pacific, depending on the start time of that game. We'll be back here in just a few. Your score is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back at you in a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you for being here. Our friend Redbeard Breaks is in with us, and he is a big-time Trevor Bauer fan. Our friend Josu says, who do you have for the game, bro? Well, I had picked the BayStars to win this one here tonight. As the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Yuda Yamamoto for a called strike. Yamamoto, Mori, and Bauer to come to bat here in the third, as he takes another breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Yamamoto 0 for 2 in last night's affair. He did drive in a run, though, as he waits here on the offering from the lefty. Tomorrow night, as there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. It'll be the Fighters and the Lions. Fighters will send Drew Verhagen to the hill, the former Cardinal and Detroit Tiger. It'll be Kona Takahashi taking to the hill for the Lions, as there is a fastball swung on and is hammered foul just past the third base coach. And the count is 1-2 strikes. So 1-2 to Yamamoto. As I said, I have to double check if it's a 9 o'clock Pacific or 10 o'clock Pacific start, which makes it midnight or 1 a.m. on the East Coast. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted in deep left field, moving back and underneath it. And there to make the grab is Seiji Ubiashi. And Yamamoto is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. I'll bring up the shortstop in Kaito Mori. So we will post that stream up after the game here tonight at some point. Usually what we'll do is about an hour or so after we wrap this one up, we will post that. And so you'll be able to bookmark that. It'll come up if you hit the notification bell. It'll give you about a half-hour window when we do go live. There's a first pitch breaking ball to Mori that misses up and away. Mori was 2 for 3 in last night's game. He did drive it a run. He squares to bunt, and he watches that one bounce up to the plate. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Mori to be followed by Trevor Bauer here. It's even more interesting to watch Bauer hit. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded to short, and it goes right through the wickets of the shortstop, Mirabatsu. That there was definitely an error. That's a play that needs to be made at this level. Whether or not going into the 6 hole, he's going to be able to throw the runner out. Nice job hitting there by Mori. He went the other way. He gets down in front of it. He throws one hand down, and he doesn't even come close. Ended up ricocheting off of the inside of his left leg into left field. So that brings Bauer up to the plate. And definitely not known for his hitting. We saw him hit the other night as they didn't use the DH. He had faced against the Lions in that game, and he had some of the more uncompetitive at-bats that we've witnessed. And there is a ball that's bunted down the first baseline. It's just going to go foul, and the count is quickly 0-1. Our Bradley Dunn says it's time to start playing a small ball. You got that right. Yeah, well, Bauer is standing in the batter's box. Whether or not he's going to be hitting or not, it remains to be seen. But they do hit in the Central League, and that's a fun part. We were talking about this earlier. When you think about it, you think about pitchers hitting. There's a lot of people that are out there that think they can hit Major League pitching, and certainly Japanese pitching, as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time as the base runner Mori. And so watching pitchers hit, you know just how tough it is. So no balls and 1 strike as the left-hander works himself to the set, and he makes a snap throw over to first base, and again diving back in time is Mori. Been pretty efficient so far has been Matsubu, as he had only thrown 24 pitches entering the inning. There was a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes even to 1-1. A friend Josu says the hardest thing to do in any sport, in his opinion, is to hit a baseball. And you know what? Being around the game as much as we have been, I've come out to say I think the hardest thing to do in any sport is actually to throw a baseball properly. And you think right now how many millions, and we're talking millions of dollars, that are on the injured list in Major League Baseball. Hitting a baseball is very, very difficult. There's no doubt about it. But throwing a ball properly makes me think that that could be the case as well. Bauer squared the bunt and fouled that one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the right-handed hitting BayStars pitcher. He squares again with 2 strikes. This time he gets it down. They throw to second, and the throw is in the dirt. I'm not sure how they're going to score that. That might be an error as well. Back-to-back plays here, and the Dragons are shooting themselves in the foot. You got to get it out at some capacity here, and they threw down to second base. I don't think they may have had a shot. Even if they did field it cleanly, he might have been safe. We're going to wait to see what the official scorer is going to say, but I have to tell you this. If you're a fan of the Dragons, you're probably throwing up in your mouth right now having to watch this. Bauer bunted the ball down the first baseline. It was nice. The pitcher came off the mound to field it, and then he spiked it into the dirt. Had the throw been decent, they might have been able to get the runner, but instead, Bauer is going to reach safely on the sacrifice. We haven't seen the update on the scorer yet, so we'll get that to you as it comes available. That puts runners at first and second. More than likely would go as a fielder's choice, or I should say a sack bunt in that situation. See how they score it. That brings the top of the order in Masayuki Kujiwara to the plate. Our friend Zay's in the house tonight. Missed you last night, Zay, for that Fighters game. But we are going to be back on the airwaves tomorrow for more Fighters and Lions action, so hopefully you can join us for that. So Maury is the runner at second, Bauer the runner at first. 1 gone here. Remember the days when the pitchers got their jackets to run? Well, Bauer's all bundled up. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 here to Kajiwara. So no balls and a strike. As I said, we never got the official score on that if it was truly an error on that as well, but we'll get that one rectified here in a couple moments. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, and it is a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. No balls and 2 strikes it is. Sometimes the NPB is rather slow to get theirs. It is back-to-back errors. So you can put that in the books. Back-to-back errors here in the inning. They'll charge that last one as E1 on the pitcher. So the Dragon defense has showed up here tonight. There is or lack of defense. Breaking ball that misses outside. It's now 1-2 to Kajiwara. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dragons in the lead. 1-0 here over the BayStars in the bottom of the 3rd inning. As the lefty Matsubu ready to deliver again. He checks the runners. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As he kicks and fires, it's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into the left side of the infield. Moving over underneath it is the shortstop. This time it's going to be hauled in by Muramatsu. So that is going to retire him. Probably the infield fly rule. I didn't see the signal from the umpires, but the infield fly rule would have been in play there. More than likely, he's gone for the second out, but that is going to bring up the always dangerous Shugo Maki. Well, for Maki, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He was 1 for 4 in last night's affair, so 1 for 5 in the early going. As we mentioned, he had 23 homers and 74 runs driven in last year. He is a hitting machine, as he hit 290 plus last year for the BayStars. Here comes the first offering. Slow breaking ball misses inside. The count is quickly 1-0. So BayStars threatening here to get their run back that they allowed in the 2nd inning. Batting here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Late arriving crowd in Yokohama, but there are empty seats. As we said, weather was a factor for this one here. Here's the 1-0. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. Yoshi Satsugo is looming on deck. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the lefty waiting here, getting his sign from his catcher Kinoshita. Here comes the pitch. As he resets himself, and now we're going to have to do it again. And here we go. There is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. It's now 2-1. So 2 on, 2 out here in the third. Mackey in a positive hitters count here with 2 balls and 1 strike. Lots of raincoats in Yokohama. It's kind of interesting. They got these blue raincoats. When I was in Chiba and got stranded in the rain, they were selling these white see-through raincoats. And the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. It's now 2-2 to Mackey. Best $7 I spent was buying that raincoat. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mackey. All things considered, it was pretty rainy. Sometimes you can get some just torrential downpours in Japan while you're there. If you're in Latin America, I kind of like that. It's like a late afternoon shower sometimes, kind of takes the sting out of the day. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bauer is the runner at first base. The lefty Matsubu on the hill here, and he's ready to face give the 2-2 pitch here to Mackey. Checks the runners yet again, and here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Shugo Mackey goes in the books for the second time tonight down on strikes. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of inning number 3. No runs in the inning, no hits. There were 2 errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we are now through 3 complete. It is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. The middle frames are just around the corner. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Wraps Baseball YouTube channel. Our friend Josu says he is watching from San Diego. Well, here's one for you. Our buddy from San Diego, Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Wraps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Dragons in their half of the fourth. Seiya Hosokawa, Orlando Calixte, and Yataro Iriyama. And it is now 12-0 for the Giants over the Swallows. That is in what I believe the 4th inning. Holy boy, that is something special. We'll get you caught up on the scores for around the NPB. This one here is lagging just a little bit behind, as we said, because of the rain delay. We are in some catch-up mode as both the Giants game and the Buffaloes game are in the 4th. All the games were supposed to start at 2 p.m. Japan time. This one here got off to about a half-hour delay. So Bauer has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action here. Hosokawa, Calixte, and Iriyama coming to bat as he is ready to resume his action here. So the quirky Trevor Bauer on the hill here for the BayStars. He has come out and said that he wants to win the Sawamura Award. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Hosokawa. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that is the equivalent of the Cy Young Award, but it's not issued every year. Last year, there was no winner. They put forward the names of who it would be, and last year, nobody was nominated the best pitchers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hosokawa. Yoshinobu Yamamoto won it a couple of years ago. As the 1-1 is on the way, there's that slide step, and it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. So a leadoff single here for Hosokawa. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Orlando Calixte. And our friend Josu says, do you think the BayStars can still win it? No, I don't think the BayStars. I do think the BayStars can still win it, of course. We're early on in this game. We're talking about the Dragons here, who have finished in last place the last couple of years. The Dragons are not exactly a powerhouse. So here comes the first offering to Calixte. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is quickly 0-1. Our friend Bradley Dunn says, that's so Japanese, no participation trophies. Yeah, I love it. Get good or get off the field. Go back to the practice field and get better. Why do they carry 150 guys on their college teams? They only got 9 guys that play, and everybody else has to sit and watch. If you're not good enough, at least you got a good seat. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So Calixte got the party started for the Dragons in the second inning. With 2 out, he drew a walk. And then it was back-to-back singles off the bats of Itayama and Kinoshita that drove home Calixte with the first and only run of the ball game thus far. 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander Bauer holds set. Now he does a slide step and he pitches, misses down and away. If I go back and watch the videos on Bauer here, I'd be curious to see what his strike rate is when he's doing his slide step and his quick pitches. I think he's going to have to go back to the lab to work on his delivery. He seems a little bit rushed. But then again, I'm only getting the one angle here to be able to relay that to you. Here's the 2-1. Another slide step and another pitch. It's a fastball upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-1. So Calixte's going to get a pretty good pitch to hit here in this at-bat. So 3 balls and 1 strike as Bauer again works himself into the set position, and here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Kajiwara does a nice job of decoying as if he thought he could catch the ball, but now he's got himself in a little bit of trouble as that puts runners at first and second with back-to-back singles. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Yataro Itayama. And for Itayama, well, he is 1 for 1 tonight. 1 for 2 in the early season as the catcher Yamamoto on his way out to give some words of encouragement to Bauer. I wonder what he would say if he doesn't speak a whole lot of English, because I don't know what Bauer's Japanese is all about these days. So Tyler Austin is playing up on the proverbial grass of the turf as he is getting himself prepared for the bunt. One would have to think that that could be in play here. As Itayama steps in, not showing it yet. As Bauer works himself to the set position. I wonder if we're going to get a high fastball here out of Bauer. And instead he gets the old spaghetti move that chases the runner back to second base. So that is where we have it here. So again, Bauer ready to go again as the left-handed hitting Itayama. Usually what happens when guys do that spaghetti move, they want to see if they're going to break the hands and show bunt. There was nothing there, and there's still nothing. There's a fastball that misses up and away. Count is 1-0 to Itayama. I don't know about you guys, but certainly in this situation, I'm laying a bunt down, put runners at second and third, and then take my chances, although Kinoshita is on deck. And then the pitcher's spot in the batting order. So that would maybe change the philosophy a little bit, but I think I still want to go after them here. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. They appealed down to the third base umpire, but they said that he didn't go. So as I mentioned before, I'm kind of curious to see exactly what they're going to choose to do here with Bauer. If they're going to stay, how long they're going to stay with him here. He's at 64 pitches already. There's a fastball that just misses inside. Now 3-0. Bauer didn't really like the call, but let's be fair. He missed 2 pitches up and away, and then you came in and you tried to paint the corner inside. You're not going to get the call. You got to be around the zone a little bit more than that. So 3 balls and no strikes to Itayama. Got himself into a little bit of a pickle here. Does the American right-hander. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1. Got to go after some of these lower hitters in the batting order because they're there for a reason. Usually can't hit. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Itayama. Runner at second, Hosokawa. Runner at first is Calixte. Waiting his turn on deck is Kinoshita, who drove in the first and only run of the ball game. Here comes the 3-1. Fastball on the way, lined into center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. But they're going to have to play station-to-station baseball, are the Dragons, as that ball, they weren't really sure if it was going to hang up, but 3 singles in a row have loaded the bases. Hosokawa, it moves over to third. Calixte is at second. It's going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound to have a few words with the American right-hander. So we've got ourselves a little timeout here. As they're coming out, 67 pitches so far in 3+ innings. 5 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts so far for Bauer. So we'll see if he can bear down here. You've got Kinoshita. This is the important one right here. And then you've got the pitcher spot in the batting order. So in essence, you got a dead bat here. So you got to take care of at least Kinoshita. If you can get Kinoshita maybe to get into some kind of double play, then you got the pitcher coming up and you might be able to wiggle out of the inning. So I haven't seen the defensive alignment yet, but one would have to think it'll be corners in and middle would be halfway. Looking to try to turn 2, and that's exactly what it is. Tyler Austin up on the proverbial grass, and then the third baseman Miyazaki even with the bag. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. Kinoshita sure didn't like that call. No balls and 1 strike. Our friend Jose says, bases loaded. Yes, indeed. Redbeard Brink says the Giants keep pouring it on. It was 12-0. Last time we peeked in. We'll get an update once we get through our Japanese halftime. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as Bauer holds set, now delivers. Breaking ball misses up and in, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I would like to think they want to get at least 6 innings out of Bauer here tonight. The Dragons have made him work here through 4. Maybe work a little harder than what he's wanted to work. So 1 ball, 1 strike as he holds to the belt, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, popped up into shallow right field. That's not going to be deep enough. Mackey on the edge of the outfield grass makes the catch. And that is going to retire Kinoshita. So that is 1 out here. And that is going to bring up the pitcher, and Takahiro Matsubu. We'll see how he is about to fare here. So Matsubu tonight, he bounced into a fielder's choice to end the 2nd inning. The defense for the BayStars is still with the corners in and the middle of the infield halfway. The shortstop is a lot closer to the bag holding that runner. So the pitcher here ready to face Bauer is opposite number. Here comes the first offering from Bauer. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Be interested to see what the Dragons have up their sleeve here. Sometimes we've seen teams, of all things with bases loaded, drop a bunt down just to get the ball in play. At least in the Japanese league, we've seen that done before. But I don't know how well this particular pitcher runs. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball. Oh, a great stop there by the catcher Yamamoto to keep that one in front. That's going to run the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Bauer's goal is to win the Sawamura Award. He's going to have to tighten up a little bit here and get on a bit of a roll like he did 2 years ago, where he ended up pitching in the All-Star game during the 2023 season, or at least one of the All-Star games. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. One of the things that we made a note when we watched Bauer pitch a couple years ago for the BayStars, he falls in love with too much of his secondary pitches. He's got enough stuff to go right after some of these hitters with his fastball. He's got to think about shelving some of the other stuff. Just go after the hitters with what makes you your bread and butter, which is your fastball. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. On the way, fastball swung on and fouled back. The count now is 2-2 to Matsubu. I think of, on the other side of the ledger, Yusei Kikuchi, the Japanese pitcher who was with the Toronto Blue Jays and Houston Astros last year. Of course, he's with the Angels now. When he got to Houston really emphasized him throwing the four-seam fastball a lot more. And he ended up putting up some pretty good numbers after the trade with the Astros. Fastball waved at and missed, and Matsubu is in the books. That's strikeout number 6 for Bauer. That's 2 outs here. That is going to bring up the top of the order in Yuki Okibayashi. Our friend Josiu, who is in here, and I hope I say the name correctly. Anyways, he was saying earlier, or at least asking earlier, who is the better players with the Dragons? Well, Okibayashi, in my opinion, might be their best player, or if he's not, he's on his way to being their best player. 23-year-old stepping into the batter's box. He's the center fielder. We said he had led the exhibition series that they play in Japan in batting. First time in somewhat, I think it was 23 years since Kosuke Fukudomi. As there is a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0 to Okibayashi. So our friend says Josue is how you would say it. Okay, well, you remember how that is. Josue it is. So that is where we are. With the emphasis on the H in the J. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. As Bauer delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it. And, the outfielders, they collide. But they're able to hang on to that one as it looks like it's going to be hauled in by Tsutsugo. Oh, boy. That is going to do it here for out number 3. As Okibayashi is going to be gone here. So 3 singles back to back to back to get things going here in inning number 4. And Bauer able to wiggle out of it with a pop fly, a strikeout, and a fly ball out. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning, it is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars nothing. If we're going to point to a spot in the ball game, this might be it right there. That might have been the Dragons' opportunity to run roughshod over the BayStars. But that's why we play the games, and we'll be back here in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. That's right, everybody. Be sure to join our Facebook page. as it is the NPB Japan Baseball Report. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to hang out with us there as well. We'll be right back after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. The scoring going around on the NPB will get you kind of up at what we like to call our Japanese halftime. That will be after the 5th inning. The first pitch on the way here to Yoshi Satsugo is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. It'll be Satsugo, Austin, and Miyazaki here, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the BayStars. Satsugo 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his first time up. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Satsugo. Satsugo 1 for 5 in the early going this year. He was 1 for 4 in last night's affair. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on and foul behind home plate. Count now goes to 1-2. I've talked about Satsugo before and in the past, and one of the things that I had learned is that they were talking about why he didn't get a chance to play much against the Dodgers in the World Series is he really struggles with guys that throw 95 or better. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. They said that if he was facing average fastballs that were 95 and lower, he could handle that, but he couldn't make the adjustment to that quicker speed at 95 and above. There's a fastball swung on, it's chopped down the first base line. It is fielded. Oh, here we go again. Fielded by Calixte. He tosses it over to the pitcher covering, and the ball's been dropped. They were going to rule it as a hit, but I think we want to look at that one. I don't know about that. That's some home cooking on the scoring. That should be the first out of the inning. But instead, the BayStars have got themselves a hit here from Satsugo. It was a chopper into the ground. He doesn't move particularly the fastest anymore. Calixte gets it. He flips it over to the pitcher covering. And for the pitcher, Matsuba, it was cement hands at their finest as he drops that one. It's going to be, though, as we said, scored an infield hit. That's going to bring Tyler Austin to the plate. Austin 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out looking his first time up. Our friend Jason Stuff in the house tonight. As the first pitch breaking ball misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. He said he's getting on that Oryx game. Yeah, the Buffaloes I think they were losing. We actually called that bottom of the first a little bit to pass some time because this one here was in the rain delay. 1-0 on the way. It's a fastball that swung on and missed. The count goes even at 1-1. Bradley says first hit for the BayStars it was. If they don't get another hit the rest of the game, I want that one to be reviewed. I guess you take them any way you can get it. The other 2 reached base on the back-to-back errors. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count is now 2-1 to Austin. Yeah, we watched that first inning. The BayStars had the first 2 hitters go down, and then back-to-back singles by Kobayashi and Sugimoto. But Nishikawa couldn't do the job to knock him in. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-1 to Austin. Toshiro Miyazaki waits his turn on deck. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Austin. Runner at first is Satsugo, and we have nobody out here in the 4th inning. As the left-hander Matsubu ready to deliver. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on line, right back to the pitcher. It's caught, and they're going to throw to first base, and it's going to be a double play. Oh, how fortunate they were. Tyler Austin hit the ball on the screws right back to the pitcher who fires his glove up almost in self-defense. And that is going to be a double play. It's going to go into the books 1-3. Austin for the first out, Setsugo for the second. And it was happened so quickly. Setsugo, I don't know if he was in motion on that or not. I have to go back and take a look, but he certainly was well out on his secondary lead. So he's in the books for the first 2 outs, and that'll bring up Miyazaki to the plate. So here we go. I can't keep up with all the Jason stuff going on over there. There's a fastball swung on, and it is lined and caught by the third baseman. What a play there by Iriyama. And that is going to do it. 2 balls hit absolutely hard, and they couldn't get on for hits. The ball that was dribbled off the bat of Setsugo was the hit, and that is going to do it. It's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning here for the BayStars. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the top of the 5th inning, it is the Dragons 1, the BayStars nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few, and I'll try to catch up on some of our friend Jason's individual messages when we return. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Dragons. One thing that they do in between innings, much like how the Atlanta Braves have the freeze run, they do a relay with the gals in Yokohama on the warning track as the cheerleaders do their race. And I have to tell you, I watched them last year, and they can fly. They would pick the fans out of the stands, and they would do a race against them, and the cheerleaders can absolutely bolt. They ended up winning the race. They showed a little bit of the highlights. One of the fans had fallen, did a face plant. So here we go into the 5th inning. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Dragons, and the first pitch delivered to Kaito Muramatsu is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The left-handed hitting Muramatsu facing Bauer here, who's on to start his 5th inning of work, takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. I was thinking if they could get 6 innings out of Bauer here tonight, then that might be all he will offer. He's not been overly sharp, but you never know. Maybe they can go to the 7th with him as well. As there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. It gets away from the catcher, Yamamoto. He's going to have to hurry to first, and that's going to be a strikeout. It's going to go into the books 2-3 on the putout. He had to chase that one down. He had to fire a bullet. So Muramatsu in the books for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up Seiji Ubiashi to the plate. Now, if I look at the strikeouts, that in the books, I believe, is number 7 here for Bauer now. If our scoring is correct, he had 3 in the first, nothing in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now 1 here in the 5th, as there's a fastball that moves Ubiashi off the plate for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Redbeard says, still early, let's go BayStars. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is our friend Bradley pointed out earlier that it was the last half inning was the first time that the BayStars had actually got a hit. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, knocked down by Austin. He fields it, but he's not going to be able to make the play. It ended up trickling away from him. So that is going to be an infield hit here off the bat of Ubiashi. So he is aboard with a 1-out single, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Ishikawa. Our friend Jason is clogging up the chat a little bit with stuff going on in another game. I have to say, Jason, though, it is kind of tough because our focus has to be on the ball game that we're calling here. Otherwise, we would call the Buffaloes. And it might be hard-pressed to call a lot of Buffalo games this year, and there's not a lot expected from them. I find that a little hard to believe. They're going to have to get themselves going. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Ishikawa. You know, you can't lose too many guys in a row. They lose Masataka Yoshida. That hurt. But Yuma Tongu able to step up and produce much like Yoshida was producing. And then they lost last year after the season of 2023, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And that might have been the death nail there for the Buffaloes. It was a huge loss to overcome. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is popped up into shallow left field. Backing up is the shortstop. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is Mori, and that's going to retire Ishikawa for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and that's going to bring up Seiya Hosokawa to the plate. For Hosokawa, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He singled to lead off the 4th inning, but he was left stranded. So 1 for 2 for Hosokawa. Runner at first base, Azubayashi. 2 gone here in the inning. Bauer already up to 85 pitches, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that is up in the air, but they throw down to second, and what a play by Yamamoto. Was a slide step there by Bauer, and they fire down to second base, and that is going to do it. It's going to be caught stealing. It's going to go in the books 2-6 for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Dragons. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 5. Your score is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. It'll be Ibina, Yamamoto, and Mori to come to bat when we return right after this. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us here tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, guys. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher once again, and if you weren't here yesterday, well, he's going to share it with you again today. We'll be right back here.
Thank you for that introduction, Freddie. Hey guys, Steve coming back at you today, and every day is opening day on my channel. I open everything from hot sauce to beer to deviled eggs to cans of soup to ravioli to sport card packs like you wouldn't believe. I open blasters of stuff. I open regular boxes of stuff. Speaking of hot sauce, I open hot sauce, which is often gifted to me from the community. I have it all. I open up Star Wars by the tons, including the Family Guy Star Wars. I have a bunch of wrestling that I do open, and I do non-sport cards like crazy. As you can see, we have it all. I even open Marvel. Tons and tons of Marvel cards. But you never know, on my channel, you just may have a little trouble with tribbles, too. Remember, opening day, every day. Thank you, Freddie. See you in Funny Pages, guys.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 5. Our friend Josue says, he's back. What did he miss? Well, you missed a nice throw by the catcher to gun down a would-be base stealer. That is going to bring Ibina to the plate, followed by Yamamoto and Mori. And the first pitch here is a fastball that just misses a little low. They appealed to the first base umpire, but they did say that Ibina went around, so it's going to run the count to 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. 57 pitches through the first 4 innings for the lefty Mitsubu. He has been quietly effective here tonight. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted, but it's going to be hooked foul into the seats down the left field line. And the count now goes to 0-2, so no balls and 2 strikes. Hamburger Steaks has a few errors, but We've only let one run score and absolutely no offense. The BayStars could definitely be better. Yeah, this is for sure. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty ready to go again. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that is grounded over to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop, Muramatsu, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Ibina. That's a ground out, 6-3. So 1 gone here, and that is going to bring up Yudai Yamamoto. Josue says, are the Dragons batting? No, it's the bottom of the inning. The BayStars are up to bat. So Yamamoto striking to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He had flown out to left field his only trip. 0 for 3 on the early season. There's a fastball taken for a called strike down at the knees, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, the errors, it's not been clean baseball, that's for sure. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. I would have to think that we'll probably see Bauer for another one. I would think he's coming out for the 6th. Anything after that, he's on borrowed time. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball swung on. It is grounded just foul past the bag at third base. Late call from the third base umpire. Now it is 0-2 to Yamamoto. So Matsubu here, ready to go again as he gets himself a new baseball. So no balls and 2 strikes to Yamamoto. 1 gone here in inning number 5. As the lefty gets his sign from his catcher, Kinoshita. Shakes him off a couple of times, and now he is ready to go back to work, although Yamamoto had stepped out asking for time, feeling that the lefty had gone a little too far. So here comes the offering from the lefty. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-2. Bradley says if Bauer's spot comes up, well, I would say he could get pinch hit for if one or both of the next 2 hitters get on. I'd probably take him out. There's a fastball swung on his line into right field, and it's going to down into the corner. But nope, it's just going to slice foul, as that is going to run the count still here to 1-2 on Yamamoto. Lose sight of it a little bit there. So the answer to Bradley's question, yeah, I think so. I think he could get pinch hit. Our friend Jason says, what do you think of the 2025 BayStars? I think a lot of them. Defending Japan champs, and they've added in the offseason. Obviously, bringing Bauer back is huge. Here's the 1-2. There's a slow breaking ball swung on. This is lifted foul down the right field line, and another one that's going to slice foul. Count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Waggling the bat here is the Yamamoto, and the 1-2 pitch ready to come. As he holds set and now delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. And that is why Redbeard is in the house here. Attaboy, Redbeard. Breaking ball misses up, 2-2. I was looking to do the same myself. I don't know what his deal is. As that pitch is grounded foul. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It remains to Yamamoto here. He's got quite the battle going with the lefty Matsubu. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and another one grounded foul. Just past the third base coach's box, and that bat looks like it has died 1,000 deaths, as he's going to have to go and get himself a new piece of lumber. Nine pitches already in this bat for Yamamoto, at least by our counts. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to the catcher of the BayStars. So really making the lefty Matsubu have to work. 2-2 on the way. Slow breaking ball swung on, lifted into right field. And coming underneath it is Hosokawa. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it for out number 2. So 2 gone in the inning, and that's going to leave it up to Kaito Mori. Mori, who is 0 for 1 tonight. He reached on the error by the shortstop his first time up. Our friend Redbeard putting the timeouts in there. That boy, Jimmy. Make sure you take care of that. Here's the breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Mori. As the lefty kicks and delivers again, there's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to run the count to 0-2. So back to Bradley. If Bauer's spot comes up, I think he would come out to hit. I don't think they would pinch hit here, even if Maury got on at this point. But on the flip side of the coin, I think he will definitely get. I think he's going to get lifted after the 6th. He'll come back out for a 6th, give him another inning, and then I think his night will be done. He's got the helmet on and he's got the jersey on, so it looks like as of right now he will come to bat. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. Maury goes down on strikes. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And the BayStars go in order here in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Now through 5 complete, your score is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. For those of you who are new here after the 5th and the 6th innings, they like to take an extended break. And we will do the same as we have to go refresh our beverage. We're going to put the music on loop. Let it entertain you, and we'll be back in just a few after this. 1-0 for the Dragons as we move to the 6th. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. We got a couple of little technical difficulties as we are back in the live action. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes as Bauer is pitching here to Hosokawa, and he takes a fastball for a called third strike, and he is going to be down on strikes looking here. So 1 gone here in the 6th inning as we were a little bit late to get back into our saddle. So we're glad that we could be back here for you guys. As we said, we just got a couple of little pieces that we are trying to work out at our end here. So Hosokawa gone for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring Orlando Calixte to the plate. He has been aboard twice tonight. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. Well, depending on how Bauer does here in this inning, maybe we even see him for a 7th. He's at 92 pitches right now. But he's going to have to try to be efficient to get rid of these next 2 hitters. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped over to third. Oh, they called it a fair ball, and they throw over to first base, and that's going to retire Calixte. I'm not so sure about that one. Usually the home plate umpire's got everything up to the bag, but the base umpire was the one to make that call. That is going to retire Calixte on a ground out 5-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and then we've got the second baseman Yataro Iriyama coming to the plate. So very interesting here. So Iriyama striding to the dish. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Iriyama. Iriyama has singles in both of his 2 at-bats tonight. He's 2 for 2. Was 0 for 1 in last night's ball game. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that just misses upstairs, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It is the bottom of the 6th inning, is the top of the 6th inning. We have to update our ticker as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. Apologies to us. We're still getting some of our kinks out. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Iriyama. Bauer ready to go again. Here comes the 97th pitch of his outing as he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count goes even to 2-2. Eight strikeouts so far recorded in this one here by Bauer. So he said if maybe he makes quick work of the hitter here, maybe he comes back out for inning number 7. As the 2-2 on the way, there's a fastball swung at his line right to the glove of the shortstop. Nice catch there by the shortstop Mori, and that is going to do it. Let's see if Bauer comes back out. We'll know if he comes to bat. And the next half inning, that is going to be 3 retired in a row here by number 96. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. He gets high fives all around. Let's see if he goes to the bat rack or if he's going to the dugout. We'll find out in just a couple moments when we return after this. Your score is a 1-0 ball game. He's getting pats on the back. By the looks of it, that might be the end of the night for him. But hang tight, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Bottom of the 6th coming up here in just a few.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, Trevor Bauer's night is over as we have a pinch hitter up at the plate, and this is going to be Shion Matsuo, one of the backup catchers, and he lifts one in the left field, and that is going to be retrieved and caught by the left fielder Ubiyashi. So there is one away here as he is gone in the books for out number one. So one away, it'll bring up the top of the order in Masayuki Kajiwara. So Kajiwara striding the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. 1 for 6 on the early season. As the first pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. I'm interested, too, to figure out who the Dragons might be using at the back end of their bullpen to close it out. Breaking ball misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Radiel Martinez, who was their closer last year, had signed on with the Yomiuri Giants. Fastball misses down. It's now 2-1. Longtime first baseman Dan Visayedo, his career is now over. Would appear in the Japanese league as he was their first baseman for quite a few years after leaving the White Sox. His game had slowed down quite a bit. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be lifted into shallow center field. It's going to be a base hit, and Kajiwara is aboard with a single. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Shugo Maki. So maybe this is the inning that the BayStars start kicking up their heels. So Kajiwara, the runner at first. Maki coming to the plate here with 1 gone in the 6th. And keep your eye on Kajiwara. He can run a little bit. So we'll see what the pitcher does here on the mound. Here comes Shugo Maki to the plate. Maki 1 for 6 in the early going this year. 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out both of his plate appearances. As the lefty Matsubu delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Maki. Appreciate everybody who has come in to listen tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys can make it in. We're going to be back on again tomorrow for the Lions. And there they make a snap throw over to first base. Diving back is the base runner Kajiwara, but they've applied the tag. The umpire has called him out. They want to look at that on the review. I got to tell you, on my first impression, I think the first base umpire got it right. And the umpires are going to go have a look down the tunnel to see if that is the case. Interesting, the 3 umpires will go down. The home plate umpire, he is standing at the home plate area as they go to review this. We'd like to get a look at it ourselves to see if he is indeed picked off or not. As we get the look over here. Oh boy, I'm not so sure there. It was a high tag. In the old days, you're not going to get that call because the throw came in and the tag was slapped right in the middle of the numbers. We'll get a look at the replay again. Calixte had to slam the tag down. I don't know. I think unless you got a different angle on that one, it's a little tough to overturn that call. We're getting basically the same angle each time. As far as I'm concerned, they may stay with that call. But we only get the one view, which is from the first base side, kind of behind the first base coach's box. And you can't really tell. You don't see any separation between the base and the hand of the runner diving back. So they could show that replay another 50 times, and it's hard to tell on this angle. If they've got a different angle, we would know. Here comes the umpire, and they are going to rule him out. That is going to be a pickoff. So Kajiwara was picked off 1-3, probably because he couldn't overturn the evidence. He's gone for the first out. Shugomaki, who has 1 ball and no strikes, will continue to bat here. And for Mackey, as we said, 1 for 6 so far in the early season. Find a way to get something going. I think the BayStars are going to need to strike here in the next inning or two, but be interesting to see what the Dragons can bring out of the bullpen. There's a slow breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow night, Lions and Fighters, same channel. As the pitch is a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. Then during the week, we're going to add some MLB games in. We did the Mariners and the Athletics last night. Might even try to squeeze one in tomorrow if I can. There's a fastball swung on, and it's popped up over on the third base side. It's playable in foul territory. Oh, and not an easy play there by the third baseman, Ishikawa, but he was able to make the grab up against the fence, and that is going to retire Mackey for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it. He's gone for out number 3, and they go in order to the BayStars unconventionally. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the top half of inning number 7. Matsuba has been pitching excellent tonight for the Dragons. It'll be 8-9-1 to come to bat. We'll see if he stays in the game or if the Dragons are going to the pen. But we return after this. Appreciate you guys for being here tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out, as he has got all kinds of things. Our son Hostway says, how come the BayStars are so bad? It's a 143-game schedule. You're probably not going to go 143-0, as it looks like they are going to the bullpen here, as it is going to be number 64 entering the fray here for Yokohama. And that would be Ko Nakagawa. So he is coming on in relief. He'll be the second pitcher used here, as he's coming on to replace Trevor Bauer. So Ko Nakagawa on in relief. I was watching that Mariners-Oakland game yesterday, and Oakland had a couple of home runs off the bat of Tyler Soderstrom. And they were pretty much, I don't want to say in control, but they were in a position where they had the opportunity to win. And then all of a sudden, in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Mariners jumped them for 3 runs, including a pair of home runs. One off the bat of Randy Arozarena. And as it turned out to be, that ended up being the difference in the ball game. A 4-2 game last night between the Mariners and the A's. So lots of things can happen, especially late. You get into the bullpens, you never know. It is going to be Kinoshita, Matsubu, and the top of the order, Okabayashi, the 8-9-1 hitters to come to bat. So we'll see how this plays out here. The first offering here from the right-hander Nakagawa is a fastball swung on it, is lined into center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. So welcome to the ball game, says Kinoshita, who picks up his second hit of the night. So a single here to lead it off, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Takahiro Matsubu. So Matsubu coming to the plate here. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He bounced into a fielder's choice, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. And I would think right now, betting dollars to donuts, you got to think he's going to be dropping a sacrifice bunt here. And so do the BayStars, as Yamamoto is out in front of the plate. So the 34-year-old left-hander stepping in ready to face the right-hander Nakagawa for the first time. They throw over to first base, and getting back in time as the runner. So no sign of the bunt there from the pitcher, Matsubu. But now he is. He squares the bunt. He bunts it. He gets it down. It's over on the first base side. They throw down to second. Oh, another not so good throw, but a great play by the shortstop. Fantastic play by Mori as he's able to pick it. They're going to get the lead runner there. So that's going to go down as a fielder's choice. It's going to go into the books as a 1-6 putout for the first out of the inning. Safe at first is the pitcher, Matsubu, on that fielder's choice, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Okabayashi. What a great play by the shortstop, Mori. That's what you're there for. You got to pick balls out of the dirt. Infielders got to make plays. If you can't pick balls out of the dirt, what are you doing up the middle? But he makes a great play there. So Matsubu is the runner at first. He's got his jacket on, and this brings Okabayashi to the plate. The first pitch from Nakagawa is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. That was one thing I wanted to look at last year, and I haven't done my homework. I just did an obscure stat, would be how many stolen bases were stolen by pitchers in the NPB last year. That would be an interesting find. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Just something that's, as I say, a rare find or a different find that you look at. And I would assume not too many. I would bet if I had to make a educated guess, I would say less than 10, maybe even less than 5. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1. I think in Major League Baseball a number of years ago, when they used to use the pitchers to pinch run at times. I remember we were having this conversation tonight at dinner. Said that Sparky Anderson used to use Jack Morris. Later on, it was Jeff Weaver who was pitching for the Tigers. There was a breaking ball that misses inside, and count now goes to 3-1 on Okabayashi. Josue says the BayStars are the last leg of his parlay. Well, the way it's going right now, they better find a way to unlock their offense between now and the end of the ballgame. They've got 3 innings in which to do it. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up on the infield, over on the right side, camping out underneath it. Well, actually, it's over on the right side by the catcher there, who comes out and grabs it. That is going to retire Okabayashi for the second out of the inning. You had to go up the first baseline to get it, and the wind has been blowing it around a little bit. So 2 gone here, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kaito Muramatsu. So Muramatsu tonight has officially 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. He has walked and stolen a base. 0 for 5 to start the young season. As the right-hander Nakagawa delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down in it, and the count is 1-0. Josue is giving us the odds here. I'm not sure what the live stuff would be still left, or if you can actually tap out or cash out or something along those lines. As the right-hander holds to the set position, and now here comes the 1-0. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 7th inning here. It is a 1-0 game for the Dragons. Game got off to a later start. It was a half-hour delayed by rain. Breaking ball swung on it, is popped up behind home plate. There's a lot of real estate behind home plate, and that ball is going to drift into the seats, and the count is 1-2. Xander Miller says the BayStars are buns. What kind of buns are they? Are they hot cross buns? Maybe even possibly they could be maybe the Scottish type of buns or a Portuguese bun. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on it as tap foul behind home plate. Keeps the count at 1-2 to Muramatsu. Yeah, Sanders says maybe even their Hawaiian buns. Absolutely. I guess we'd have to ask the female fans if they have nice buns, but we'll see how that works out. So we've got 1-2 strikes here as Nakagawa ready to deliver again. Muramatsu waits. It's a breaking ball swung on and it's grounded foul. I say breaking ball. That might have been a split finger on that last pitch. So 1-2 strikes it remains to Muramatsu. Absolutely. We'd have to get a poll and ask the ladies to see who has the best ones. Maybe we'll ask the cheerleaders to do the same. So 1-2 strikes. As Muramatsu here waits on the offering from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded up the middle, fielded neatly by Mackey, who flips it to the shortstop. Mori covering at second. That's going to be a fielder's choice to end the inning, as it will erase the pitcher running Matsubu on a fielder's choice 4-6. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was one hit. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom half of the seventh. It is the BayStars and the Dragons. 1-0 for the BayStars, 1-0 for the Dragons. BayStars looking to get on the board. We'll be back in just a couple of moments, everybody. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Some scoring updates from around the NPB Central League action. It's the Giants 12 and the Swallows nothing. That's in the top of the eighth. It is a 3-2 game for the Tigers over the Carp. That's in the top of the eighth inning as well. Pacific League, it is the Fighters 2-1 over the Lions. That's in the bottom of the eighth. 2-1 for the Eagles over the Buffaloes. That's in the top of the eighth. At the bottom of the eighth inning, it is 4-4 between the Hawks and the Marines. And for Hugh here, we are moving to the bottom of the seventh inning. It is a 1-0 lead for the Dragons. So it is going to be coming to bat. Slated, it'll be Tsutsugo, and then Austin and Miyazaki. So Tsutsugo tonight is 1 for 2. The first hit of the ball game back in inning number 4 for the BayStars. First pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Tsutsugo. I was saying about how Bauer was not overly efficient tonight. He had thrown his close to 100 pitches, but here we are with the lefty on the hill here, Matsubu, and he is very, very effective. 85 pitches as he's here in the seventh inning. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Count now 1-2 strikes to Tsutsugo. The fact of the matter is he has filled up the zone as needed. Kansas Gamer says Bauer needed some support. Yes, he did. As there is a breaking ball that misses, and the count now goes to 2-2. I've never seen a team win a game that hasn't scored a run. That would be a new one. That would be a feat. But that is something that he could have used some support tonight. There's a fastball swung on it, his pop foul behind home plate. Moving back on it is Kinoshita, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Setsugo. So the BayStars are starting to run out of outs here as we're in the back third of the ball game. So one gone here as Setsugo is in the books. That is going to bring up Tyler Austin to the plate. So Austin strides to the plate. He is 0 for 2 in this one. As Austin gets himself into the batter's box. 1 for 5 in the early going here with no homers and an RBI. For Austin, he lined into a double play his last time up, and the first pitch is a slow breaking ball over for a called strike. The count is 0-1. He's been getting a steady diet of this. We said in his first at bat, he saw a slow breaking ball, then he saw a slower one, and then he saw one that almost stopped in mid-flight. It was so slow. Here comes the 0-1. That is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Trying to keep the hitter off balance with a lot of slop being tossed up to the plate. 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. And I think you're going to continue to keep going to the well there. Actually, that was a split finger pitch from the lefty. It always throws me for a bit of a loop. I never expect lefties to throw split fingers, at least in Major League Baseball. I can't think of non-Asian players to throw the splitty. There's a breaking ball swung on, is grounded softly over to first. Calixte fields it. He flips it to the pitcher covering. And this time they're going to be able to make the play. That's going to go down as a ground out 3-1. So Austin in the books for the second out here, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Toshiro Miyazaki. You think about it tonight, only 2 hits so far for the BayStars. They really haven't had a whole lot of offense. They were gifted an opportunity in the third inning when there was back-to-back errors made, balls put in play by Maury and by Bauer. Friend CV in the house tonight. We welcome you to the stream. Appreciate you for jumping in with us. As Miyazaki waits here on the offering, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0. Miyazaki 0 for 2 tonight, 2 for 5 in the early going this season. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, is grounded over to third, fielded by the third baseman, Ishikawa. Throws to first, and that's going to do it. A ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here in inning number 7 for the BayStars. Well, they go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is the Dragons 1, the BayStars 0. Hang tight, everybody. I get the feeling we're going to have ourselves some possible changes here in just a couple moments. We'll see if the pitcher, Mabetsu, is one of them, or if he's going to be coming back out for another inning. Hang tight, everybody. Our friend is back in the house here. That would be CV Baseball Card Collector. Nope, Bauer is done for the night. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. But he's here now. Welcome back, everybody. We're got a 1-0 ball game as we move to the top half of the 8th inning. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you for being here. Dragons and BayStars on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Juan is in the house here tonight. He says, always enjoy your content, and thanks for spreading the Japanese ball game breeze to everywhere. Well, we appreciate you for saying the kind words. Unfortunately, not going to make it back to Japan this summer. It is a pivot. We're going to actually go to Taiwan in August, and we're going to get a chance to see some of the Taiwanese league. Really looking forward to that. It should be exciting. So hopefully you guys will be along for the journey a little bit as well. Not done a great job of some of the things the last couple of years when I was in Japan. I look at some stuff, but in terms of footage and video, that is partially on me, as I am better suited, I guess, for this than I am actually creating the other stuff. We do have a bullpen. We have a change here as the BayStars are going to their third pitcher of the ball game. And it is going to be Hayate on the mound. He only goes by one name. And the first pitch is delivered. It's a fastball. It's bunted down the third base line, and it's a good one. And they're not going to be able to get the speedy Seiji Ubiashi, who is going to leg it out. He's got himself an infield single here, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Takuya Ishikawa. We do appreciate everybody who comes into the streams and gives us their support. And we're glad we could share the love of the Japanese game with everybody else. The Japanese game is really fun to watch. So Ubiashi striding to is at first base and striding to plate is Ishikawa, who is 0 for 3 tonight. He has flown to right, popped to short, and struck out in his 3 trips to the plate. As Hayate delivers a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Hayate is a sidewinder. He gets a little bit of getting up on his pitches. Looking at the flag that they have up there, they're going to have to replace that flag in Yokohama of the Dragons. It is all frayed at the end. There's a fastball that swung on, and it's lifted foul down the right field line, and the count goes even at 1-1. I remember as a kid at Old Tiger Stadium in Detroit, they used to have the flags up all around for the other teams that played at the time in Major League Baseball, or at least in the American League. The BayStars put the flag of the opposition up on their scoreboard as well. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As Hayate kicks and delivers, looks like a changeup or a breaking ball. Hard to tell when it's coming down from down under. Like it was a breaking ball that kind of rose a bit. And Ishikawa had hit it off the end of the bat foul. Count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we say, if you guys are back around tomorrow night, got not much to do on a Saturday, tune us in again. Lions and Fighters at your service tomorrow. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And he again holds for a abnormal duration of time, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be hooked into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Rounding second and heading to third is Ubiashi, and he's going to be held up there, and it's going to be runners at second and third. As Ubiashi is going to stop at third, a double for Ishikawa, and this is going to be a little bit of a predicament here for the BayStars as the Dragons have runners at second and third with nobody out. And that is going to bring up the right fielder in Seiya Hosokawa. And if you want somebody at the plate, Hosokawa might be your guy for the Dragons. He had a pretty decent year last year. He would finish 5th in the Central League in home runs. You don't need a home run right now, but a base hit anywhere to the outfield will get you 1 and maybe even 2. So Hosokawa gets himself into the batter's box, ready to face the offering here. The BayStars have the infield in. They're on the proverbial plastic grass. As the right-hander Hayate is digging himself a serious hole here. Here comes the first pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. Orlando Calixte waits his turn on deck. A lot of the production in tonight's game for the Dragons has come from this bottom part of the order. Hosokawa has a hit. Calixte has the only run of the game. He's walked and had a hit. Hideyama has a pair of hits. Kaneshita has a pair of hits. That is the 5, 6, 7, and 8 hitters. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled right into the feet of Hosokawa, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we mentioned, pleased to have everybody in with us here tonight to listen in. It's the opening weekend in Japan for their baseball, as the trainers have come out to check on Hosokawa as he walks around gingerly. Crowd is in good form tonight as well. So as we have this little timeout as they tend to his injury or to the foul ball off of his feet. And now he is back in here ready to go again. So 1 ball and 1 strike, runners at second and third. Nobody out here, top of the 8th. Dragons threatening, looking for more runs. Hayate, the third pitcher used tonight by the BayStars, and the pitch is on its way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll try to give a call again when Trevor Bauer is on the mound. I'm not sure where that's going to be. I would assume if he's taking the ball, he wants to get it every 4th or 5th day. I would think that maybe Thursday he is back on the mound again. Or maybe even Friday to open up the next weekend series. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled to see when he is on the bump again. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball misses down. It's now 2-2 to Hosokawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Hayate ready to go back to work as he leans in and gets his sign from his catcher Yamamoto. He nods in agreement as we're ready to see the offering yet here come again. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on, and it is line foul down the right field line. Hosokawa looking to see if his bat is still going to be okay, and it's still going to keep the count at 2-2. CV says, will anyone ever take a chance on Bauer again? I hate to say it, but a couple of years ago I would have said, yeah, for sure. And now I would say, no, I don't think so. I think his days in Major League Baseball are done, unfortunately. I just can't see anybody wanting to bring him back. They would have brought him back by now. There's a fastball swung on. It is looped down the right field line, giving chase and making a catch as he runs into the wall. No, he's dropped the ball as Abina, as that was in foul territory. I want to see that one again. Actually, that might be a smart play if he's done that intentionally or not. And the reason for that is if he catches the ball, they probably tag both at second and third and probably score the run. I want to see the replay there to see if he didn't get there or if he just let that drop intentionally. They'll take their chances here because otherwise the runners tag, they score a run. No way with his momentum taking him into the wall that he's going to be able to turn and throw anybody out at the plate. So let's see what happens here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Hayate. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. Oh, what a pitch. And that is going to retire Hosokawa for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Orlando Calixte. And CB says it best with such a pitching need. Yeah, pitching is at a premium. You know, here's another thing. Major League Baseball has kicked around the idea of talking about expansion. They're talking about adding teams in Nashville and Portland. The expansion fee is supposed to be up around $1 billion. And you don't have enough pitching for the 30 teams that you have, and you want to add 2 more. There's the first pitch fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. And to add insult to injury on that comment, you've got the Oakland A's playing in a AAA stadium in Sacramento. You have the Tampa Bay Rays playing in a single A stadium in Tampa. And here you're wanting to expand. Got to get your house in order first. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Somebody clip that and send that to Rob Manfred for us all, because I have a feeling that a lot of people would probably share similar type of views. And remember, Rob Manfred, he represents the owners. And he came out this week and signaled that they're talking about a lockout 2 years from now, 2027. You know, you think of all the momentum baseball has from the Classic and everything else. What a shame that would be. So 1-1 strike it is. Calixte waggling the bat. Runners at second and third. The infield is still in here for the BayStars as Hayati ready to deliver. And there is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Coming in and making the catch. Nice play there. Oh, and a great throw to the plate by the right fielder, Ibina. And we're going to take a look at that over there. They flashed up on the scoreboard that it's 2-0. But I'm not so sure that that was the case, because the runner had stopped at third base. I don't think the runner had scored, so I think they were a little ahead of themselves. And it looks like they're going to intentionally walk Iriyama here, as he has had a couple of hits in this game tonight. So he gets the intentional free pass, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Kinoshita. So Kinoshita comes to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 gone. It is 1-0. It's kind of funny, actually. I always say sometimes we're an amateur trying to do things professionally, and the professionals are trying to do things, and they turned out amateurish. They had flashed that the Dragons had scored the second run, not quite yet. But we are going to get a pinch hitter here, as it looks like Kinoshita's night is going to be over. Coming to bat here for for Chunichi is going to be number 8. And that's going to be Yohei Oshima. So he comes in here to pinch hit with the bases loaded and 2 gone. So Yohei Oshima coming in. So bases are full as the right-hander on the hill holds to the set. And he pitches a fastball that just misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Don Pham says, I hope there is there hope for DNA? Of course there is. And Hayati is looking to wiggle himself out of this jam. If there's anything here, one thing I would have to say is the Dragons have got to kick themselves in the backside here for all the opportunities that have been provided to them tonight. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left center field, moving over underneath it. And there to make the catch is the left fielder Setsugo. And that is going to do it as Oshima's gone. Well, they're going to strand the bases loaded here. So there's your hope. No runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 3 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Coming to bat will be Ibina, Yamamoto, and Mori when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back here in just a few. Glad you guys could be here with us. Hopefully you guys will stick around for more action throughout the 2025 campaign. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Rouse Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. It is the bottom half of the 8th inning. It'll be Abina, Yamamoto, and Mori slated to come to bat. We'll see if the Dragons continue to stay with their starter, Matsubu. I would assume that answer would probably be yes. Our friend CV says, is Bauer asking too much? No, he's basically said he would pitch for the minimum and that he would have to be paid with some incentives for him to earn it. But I just don't know at this point in time if anybody's willing to bring him back to Major League Baseball. Well, it does look like we have a pitching change, as it is going to be a right-hander coming in here. For the Dragons, it is going to be number 50. This is Tetsuya Shimizu, as he is going to take over here. So now it gets to the exciting point where we'll have to see how the relievers make out. One thing I was thinking about as I was criticizing Ron Manfred, another thing is with this gambling that now that Major League Baseball has got themselves tied in with. You think of this, especially with some of the teams using the openers and those type of things, the way the pitching has been going. Can you imagine that? I know in the Japanese, a lot of people will play or gamble for the first 5 innings. And then they do different stuff. Well, when you got an opener, you're starting with a reliever. Instead of a reliever, you got a starter for 1 inning, and then you go into other stuff. It makes it very, very difficult to wager. It starts to randomize a little bit more, especially if you have a starter and then you got Garrett Cole coming in for number 2 with the Yankees. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Abina. I wonder how that would work out. I wonder if they would really appreciate that or not. You know, certainly the Yankees might not want to do it, but that would be the gambling community would be just throws things into a little bit more array. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1 on Abina. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Josue says, let's go BayStars. Well, they better get up and get going now as they are into the bullpen. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. They're running out of outs. They only got 6 outs left to get that 1 run across the plate. So we'll have to see what happens here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he says, now or never. Well, yeah, we're getting into that point of the ball game. It is now or never. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball down. Good stop there by the catcher. It's no longer Kaneshita. We have to pick up the number of who the catcher is here, as it does look like. Actually, not sure who it looks like. I don't know if that's Kato or not, who's working behind the dish. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the right field line. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Abina. Josue says, can these games tie? Yes, they can, but they can go 12 innings. They do play extra innings in the regular season, and after 12 innings, if it's a tie, then the game ends at a tie. And so this one here tonight, a 1-0 ball game. The BayStars have got to find a way to get something. Fastball misses down. The count now goes to 3-2. It did not miss by much. Plate umpire didn't feel that warranted going up the right hand. I have to say, upon further review, I have to agree with him. It was a good frame job by the catcher, just to be able to try to get that in position. So we've got 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Abina, as he's leading off here in the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch. And it is on its way, and it's a fastball center cut. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what Abina was looking for, but it's not going to be a better pitch than that. Stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Yudai Yamamoto. Unbelievable. You're a BayStar fan. You got to be kicking yourself there. That's probably why Abina was ticketed out of town to begin the year until the injuries started propping up for the BayStars. So here comes the first offering from Shimizu. It's a fastball that misses down to Yamamoto. Count as 1-0. Our Filipino friend says right now it's 4-4 Marines and Hawks. If you're just joining us, it's 1-0 for the Dragons. As the pitch is a fastball that misses down, it's now 2-0 to Yamamoto. Only 2 hits in this ball game for the BayStars tonight, and one was sort of suspect. Dragons got their run in the second inning with 2 out, a walk to Calixte, and then back-to-back singles from Itayama. And Kinoshita gave them the 1-0 lead. There's another pitch that misses down. It's now 3-0 to Yamamoto. So 3 balls and no strikes. Mori, and then the pitcher's spot to follow here. Olajuwon says, took the BayStars plus 1.5. How you looking? Not looking too good. Right now, here comes the pitch, and it's a fastball that misses down, and that's going to be ball 4 to Yamamoto. Yamamoto is aboard with a 1-out walk, and that's going to bring up Kaita Mori to the plate. Mori tonight is officially 0 for 2. He reached on an error, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. So we'll see what the BayStars have up their sleeves here as they're trying to do some damage somehow. It does look like we are going to have a pinch hitter here as Yokohama is going to the bench. It is going to be Kaita Sano. So Kaita Sano coming in here to pinch hit for Kaita Mori. So one Kaita for another. Sano did not get the start in tonight's game, as obviously by his pinch hitting role. 30-year-old coming to the plate. Hit 273 last year for the BayStars. And he gets the nod coming off the bench here, facing Katsuya Shimizu here. And the first pitch coming on the way. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Sano. Nice pitch there by Shimizu. The ball had a lot of downward run to it and arm side run. So no balls and 1 strike. Looks like there is a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle. We'll have to see if we can get that number when it comes up. So we'll be back-to-back here for the BayStars. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul over on the third base side. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So in the hole at 0-2 here is Sano. For what it's worth, it looked like the crowd has grown through the game. Certainly early on with the rain. People are still in their rain gear. Olajuwon says he is new to Japanese baseball. Is there extra time? Yeah, they could go as many as 3 extra innings. In the regular season, they cap it at 12, and games can end in ties as there's a fastball that misses down. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sano. I kind of like it. I'd rather see 3 extra innings playing baseball than to go to the ghost runner on the bases like Major League Baseball's done. Not a big fan of the ghost runner. You got to earn your way on. And I don't necessarily mind a tie in regular season, to be honest. Fastball swung on it, breaks the bat of Sano, and is grounded up the middle, fielding it on the run is the second baseman, Itayama, and he's going to retire Sano, but they do advance the runner into scoring position. It's going to go as a ground out, 4-3. Or check that. Was it the second baseman who made the play? No, sorry, it was the shortstop who made the play. So ground out 6-3. As Muramatsu had come across the bag at second base to come and get the ball. So Yamamoto is now in scoring position, and we're going to have ourselves a pinch hitter here for the BayStars as the pitcher's position was slated to come to bat. This is going to be number 9. This is Yoda Kyoto. So Yoda Kyoto coming to bat here. As the right-hander ready to deliver, and there's a first pitch, split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Josue asked him if I saw that. No, I left when the Tigers were winning 5-3 and doing a fist pump thinking, hey, they're going to win the game in LA. And somebody jumped into the stream and said that the Tigers ended up losing the game. I think it was 8-5 or something. Terrible. Have to go back and look at that after this one as well. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Right-hander delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into left field. Moving back on it and making an over-the-shoulder catch is Ubiashi. Oh, you got to give credit here to Kyoto. He drove that ball a long way, but it was caught there by the left fielder. And that is going to do it here as he's gone for out number 3 in the 8th inning. Well, we're going to the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, but there was a runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the 9th. That is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. Can the BayStars get themselves a run? Well, we're going to find out in the bottom half. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We have another pitching change here for the BayStars. It is going to be Chihaya Sasaki who is coming on in relief, as the right-hander is just completing his warm-up tosses. And we have, so Chihaya Sasaki coming on in relief here. And so he will be taking over, the 4th pitcher used tonight by the BayStars. We do appreciate everybody, as we said, who has jumped into the stream tonight. Looks like we have a new shortstop and a new catcher as well, but we didn't catch the numbers on either for the BayStars, so we'll have to see what that is as the game moves along here, and hopefully we can pick that up sooner than later. So we are ready to go again here. And so Sasaki's completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here. So the Dragons batting here. Here's the first pitch, and it is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. It's also a pinch hitter here for the Dragons as well. It's the pitcher's out of the game, I do believe. And there's a fastball swung on it. Is going to be looped over the head of the second baseman, Mackey. So that was number 53 in the ballgame for the Dragons. So we will have a different pitcher for the 9th inning. So that's a good thing. That's probably the happiest. And that was number 53, and that would be Shunta. Well, he goes by one name. So Shunta with the base hit. And for my word of things, if you're going to go with one name, I always thought you got to be pretty good. I don't know much about Shunta, but he is aboard here. That's the 10th hit of the ballgame for the Dragons. Only 2 for the BayStars tonight. Top of the order in Yuki Okabayashi coming to the plate here as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Shunta. So we've got a runner at first and nobody out. Let's see if he's going to drop a bunt. He does square. He tries to drag it down the first base line, but that is going to roll foul, and the count now is a balls and a strike. Yeah, Josue says if they have one name, they better be the best. When I get one name, when you hear Ichiro, I think everybody who knows who that is. When you think of other players like Maradona or Pele, when they just mention them by one name, I think most people would know who those players are as well in the sport they play. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 0-2 here to Okabayashi. But some of these other guys who are going with the one name, I'm not so sure that maybe that is quite warranted. Our friend Jason Stuff is back. We welcome you back into the stream. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses up and away. He said he was watching the Oryx game. Did the Buffaloes come back to win? So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Okabayashi here. You're definitely in the deep water of this game here. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Okabayashi. Runner at first is Shunta. Nobody out here in the top of the 9th. Jason Stuff says it's going to extra innings. Now, this game could be on a collision course for that as well. Throw at first base. Oh, that was quick feet there by Chihaya Sasaki, but diving back in time was the runner Shunta. Almost got him leading the wrong way. Josue has got his fingers crossed for the BayStars. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Again, they throw to first base, and again, diving back safely is Shunta. So here we go again as Okabayashi digs himself back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Nobody out here in the 9th. Rain is spitting again in Yokohama. It's been off and on as throughout the daytime today, but now it is starting to rear its head a little bit again. The crowd is in their rain jackets. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded back to the pitcher. The runner was on the move, and they are going to throw the only play they're going to have is over at first base. That's going to go as a ground out 1-3. Okabayashi is gone. He's out for the first out. Shunta makes his way over to second. If they wouldn't have grounded that, well, if he wouldn't have been in motion, they probably would have had themselves a potential for a double play, certainly to get the lead out. That is going to bring Kaito Muramatsu to the plate. Our friend Jason said 12-0 Giants over the Swallows. Yeah. It was ugly early and often. So Kaito Muramatsu stepping to the plate here as the left-handed hitting shortstop swings at the first pitch and grounds it softly to second. Mackey fields out on the run, and he underhand flips it to Austin at first. That's going to be a ground out 4-3. That's going to retire Muramatsu for the second out of the inning. Advancing over to third is Shunta, and that is going to leave it up to the left fielder, Seiji Ubiyashi. Jason said, how did Bauer do tonight? Well, he gave up the 1 run in the second inning. He ended up going 6. And on top of it, he ended up facing 25 batters in this one. He did work himself out of some jams. And by my count, he struck out 8 batters tonight, walking a pair. So he was decent. He did scatter himself 6 hits in this one, though. But I've never seen a pitcher win a game without any support. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into right center field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch is Kajiwara, and that is going to do it here as Ubiashi is in the books for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, it all comes down to the 9th inning here. We're going to have the top of the order coming up for the BayStars. So we talk about now or never. You're going to have Kajiwara, Maki, and Satsugo to come to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the 9th inning, and we'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hey, don't forget, come on over and check out our Facebook page for the Japan Baseball Report. Click on it, join it, and join the chat. We'll be back after this. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, the Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Shinya Matsuyama coming in to try to close this one out here for the Dragons tonight. We were saying earlier on, it is no Aurelio Martinez as he has moved on to the Giants. So it is going to be the top of the order for the BayStars to see if they can unlock this here against Matsuyama. And that will be Kajiwara to lead it off. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He was picked off at first base after he got on the base knock. Takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Haven't seen Matsuyama pitch before, I don't believe. Well, maybe so. That motion reminds me of something similar. That pitch there comes in at 89 miles an hour as it is now 0-2 here to Kajiwara. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on it, is knifed foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count's remaining at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Jason said about Bauer, doesn't seem like it was his best or his worst. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Decent start. Not the worst effort that we've seen. Pitches a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Kajiwara. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander nods in agreement with his catcher as he works to the set and delivers. Fastball swung on, chop back to the pitcher. Matsuyama is going to field it, and he throws to Calixte at first. That's going to be a ground out. 1-3 for the first out of the inning. And the BayStars running out of outs here with 1 gone in the 9th. That'll bring up Shugo Maki to the plate. Well, for Mackey, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice, and he has popped out to the third baseman. 1 for 7 in the early goings for Mackey, but that can all be erased here if he can get himself a base hit. There's a fastball under the hands for a called strike. Count is 0-1. That pitch was at 94 miles per hour. And so back to Bauer for a second again. I've never seen a pitcher win a game that he hasn't had runs scored for him, so it really wouldn't have mattered how he pitched tonight. BayStars can't score any runs. You're not going to get a win. There's a fastball that misses up, but it's 1-1. But should he be deserved to be tagged with the loss? Well, I guess, yeah, because the other guy pitched a little bit better. He didn't give up a run. But you put your team in a position to have an opportunity to get a victory, and your offense just sputters. So 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on, his belted foul into the seats down the left field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mackey. Looks like in the Pacific League, there's lots of extra inning action on a Saturday in Japan. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mackey waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Matsuyama, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that's spiked up to the plate. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes it is. Goes to the rosin bag, does Matsuyama. He gets himself all lathered up, and he's ready to go again. So the 2-2 pitch coming here to Shugo Maki. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2. Our Filipino friend says the Marines pick survived the Hawks today. That game was going into the bottom, I believe, bottom of the 10th when I peeked in on it. I think that the Marines had scored in the top of the 10th. Here's the 3-2. Fastball swung on. This ball is driven into center field. Coming in is Okabayashi. It just hung up enough. Oh, Mackey hit the ball on the screws, but right to the glove of the center fielder, and that is going to mean that the BayStars are now down to their final out as Yoshi Satsugo comes to the plate. Reminder here, we will wrap this one up here for you once this is over, and we'll do a around the tour and look at the scoreboard from around the NPB before we call it a night. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Satsugo. Satsugo has one of the 2 BayStar hits tonight. He had a single, which was a bit of a dicey single in the 4th inning, maybe a veteran single. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 9th inning, Dragons leading the BayStars 1-0. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And now, not only are they down to their final out, they're down to their final strike as Matsuyama looking to close the deal here in Yokohama. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As Matsuyama kicks and he fires, there's a fastball that misses down. A nice stop there by the catcher. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Titus in the house, a little late arrival tonight. We missed your attendance earlier on. Welcome to the stream. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. BayStars and the Dragons. 1-0 here for the Dragons in the bottom of the 9th. They're down to their final strike. Down to the final out here as it is 2-2 to Satsugo. As the right-hander holds himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. There is a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. Good block there by the catcher who stops it and applies the tag. And that is going to do it here as Satsugo goes down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And the BayStars go in order 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Your final score is the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. Stick around, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up for you, put this one to rest. We're going to give you the around the league final scores, and then hopefully we can let you guys call the rest of the night so we can come back and do it again tomorrow. So we'll let you know what the schedule will be for the next couple of days. We'll be back in just a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. This will be a quick roundup of this one, and then we're going to go and take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we put this one to rest. Reminder, tomorrow we are going to be back on the airwaves. It'll be the Fighters and the Lions tomorrow, so hopefully you guys can make it in and join us for that one as well. Well, only one run to tell you about tonight. It was in the second inning with 2 out. A walk to Orlando Calixte, and then singles by Yataro Itayama, and then Takuya Kinoshita, who drove home Calixte with the first and only run of the ball game. Gave the Dragons a 1-0 lead. A really nice pitching performance from Takahiro Matsuba, who went 7 strong innings here tonight, shutting out the BayStars. And then it was Shimizu and Matsuyama who came in to close the door after Matsuba had left the ball game. So you've got yourself in this one here tonight. You got 1 run on the benefit of 10 hits. And there was 2 errors committed by the BayStars on the flip side of the ledger. You had no runs on 2 hits for the BayStars. And, of course, they didn't make an error here tonight. So your final score, again, was the Dragons 1 and the BayStars no score. As far as the other things are concerned around the NPB tonight, when we look at the out-of-town scoreboard, final score from the Tokyo Dome, 12-0 victory for the Giants over the Swallows. Also a final in the Mazda Stadium. The Carp scored some runs today, but not enough to beat the Tigers as the Tigers knocked them off 3-2. Bottom of the 10th inning, the Fighters are enjoying a 3-2 lead over the Saitama Sea Blue Lions. And it is a final score as at the PayPay Dome, it was the Marines 5-4 over the Hawks. Top of the 10th inning, it is the Buffaloes and the Eagles locked up at 2s. Once again, your final score here was 1-0. Well, everybody, once again, we appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We look forward to having you back with us again tomorrow. Same time, same place, same channel. Hopefully you guys can make it. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you again on the flip side. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game.